Shalom, shalom. I think we live. Yep, say that we live. Shalom, shalom, family. We 3 minutes late, but we on time.
Right.
All right, so today we going over. Make sure I got everything up. We're gonna go over this spell that Israel is under. Let me check my phone and make sure we live.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna wait till y'all get in the room. Shalom, shalom, family. How y'all doing? How my beautiful family doing today? We got Wardy P. Shalom, Hebrew. We got Elihu. Shalom, shalom. How y'all doing? How the feed look? I know we've been having some technical difficulties lately. How we looking? How we sound? Let us know how we sound before we get started. CL Calm, CALM, Shalom, shalom, family. Set apart daughters of Yah. Shalom, shalom. 9 lives. What's up, family? What's up? We got David. Shalom, Hebrew. So with y'all, we're gonna wait till a couple more people get in. We're gonna get started. We got a very interesting topic today. I taught today's Shabbat class, and basically we teaching a stench from that because I didn't get everything done because we went into some deep, depth information, but we had a lot of hands getting raised, so it kind of prolonged the class a little bit. But it's all good though. We're gonna go and finish it off here. But we talking about Israel and how Israel is under a spell, and a lot of people don't know what I mean by that. So I called it the deception Israel cast under a spell. So we're gonna talk about spells and how basically our people been cast under this curse, and how our words formulates our reality, and how we speaking and casting spells on each other when we speak to one another, and how we just need to tighten up a little bit on our language and the way we communicate with one another. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna get into it, family. I'm just waiting for a couple more people to get in the room. Wait for a couple more. Sounds good, looks good. Okay, all praises. The script, Shalom King, how you doing? Larita Weaver, Shalom, shalom. Cynthia Crawford, shalom, shalom. Polo Rico, what up, Hebrew? Dinah, Israel, shalom, shalom. A couple more people, we gonna get started. Again, what we going over today is we're talking about the deception, how we all is caught up in this matrix. See, I called the class earlier the Matrix, so I ain't want to call it the Matrix this time because y'all ain't want y'all get the titles confused. But that's basically what we're going over, which is the Matrix. And we're going to start it off in Exodus 13 whenever we get enough people in the room. We're going to start it off with Exodus 13 to show y'all that we are, in fact, in the Matrix. In fact, we're in the Matrix, and how we stand and how we is locked inside of this box. And one of the main reasons not only is because of sin, but it's because the way we speak. You know what I'm saying? We constantly casting spells and don't even know it on ourselves. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Derek King, shalom, shalom. Dolores, shalom, shalom. The Keisha, shalom. My bad if I'm chopping up y'all names too. I'm trying my hardest to pronounce the game right. Darrell W. Smith II, shalom. How y'all kings doing? How y'all queens doing? Gods and goddesses, how y'all doing? You got a lot of people in the room. Yeah, all right, so we gonna go and get started there. She said, you got a lot of people in the room. Already, get started. All right, so let's get started. With that being said, so the topic that we tackling today is called the deception. Israel cast under a spell. So I want to basically show that we are trapped up in a matrix, a holographic matrix. Now you have two types of matrix. The Bible finna talk about a physical matrix, but we're gonna apply that to spirituality and metaphysics and show how we're trapped inside of our words, and our words actually keep us bounded inside of this depression, inside this illusion that we can't get outside of. So it's time to start watching what we say, and it's time to start critiquing our speech and really start slowing down and thinking before we speak. So we're gonna get it started, family. We're gonna start it off in Exodus. Start off at Exodus chapter 13, and you can start at 12 through 15.
All right. Exodus chapter 13, verse 12. That thou shalt set apart unto the Lord all the open the matrix.
You see that, huh? So read that again. Read it out loud, brother, and let them get in the camera so they can see you too.
Oh.
All right, there go, bro. Uriel. All right, y'all can see us.
Exodus 13, verse 12, that thou shalt set apart unto the Lord all that open it, the matrix.
So he said, everybody that's set apart, anybody that come through the matrix, they mine, right? So we finna actually see what this word matrix actually mean. Keep reading down to 15, King.
And every firstling that cometh of a beast which thou hast, the male shall be the Lord's. And every firstling of an ass thou shalt redeem with a lamb. And if thou wilt not redeem it, then thou shalt break its neck. And all the firstborns of a man among thy children shalt thou redeem.
So you see, we see as we read, we got the word matrix. The word matrix is actually in the Bible 5 times. In Hebrew, it's the Hebrew word rakim, rakim. So anybody named Rakim out there, their name is actually the matrix.
Verse 14. And it shall be when thy sons ask of thee in the time to come, saying, what is this? That thou shalt say unto him, by strength of the hand of the Lord brought us out of Egypt, from the house of bondage.
You see that? From the house of bondage. So now we see that the matrix have something to do with somebody coming through the womb. And we see that matrix is connected to this bondage, because matrix, what the matrix is, it's an illusion. It's a prison. It's a holographic prison that your mind is caught up in. And one of the reasons why we can't escape the matrix is because our speaking, we constantly casting spells on one another and we don't realize it. So we're going to get into the language. We're going to get it back into the so-called African history, and we're going to show where this came from. And we're going to read a couple of scriptures and we're going to get to it. And if y'all got any questions, the comment board is open. Now, before we actually get into this lesson, family, please, y'all know we be having a lot of trolls, a lot of negative spirits, and a lot of agents on our comment board. It's only me and the bruh, so I can't have him kicking it off if he reading. I can't have him kicking people out of the group. I'm going to need y'all not to give them all of y'all energy and not respond to them. The message need to go forth. So let's listen to the message and y'all can communicate amongst each other in positivity. But if anybody get on here rapping negative, ignore them. They don't exist. They don't exist. So as long as we got that understanding, let's get it going. So we're going to look up the word matrix real quick. Give them the Hebrew concordance too, Hebrew.
Matrix. H7357. Rakim. It says womb, womb, womb man, woman slave, woman, 2 women.
So you see what matrix is. Let's read the strong. So it's talking about the womb, and why the womb is built like a matrix, because a matrix is something that you're trapped inside, and we're trapped inside this womb. It's a womb that you can't see. It's an invisible electromagnetic field. It's a force that you don't even see. And every time we speak words, it constantly keeps us in the same cycle. So the only way to break this cosmic wound that we is to start speaking life into each other and stop speaking death into one another. Right now, we're in a death matrix. It's a death culture. It's a wake and sleep pattern. You go to sleep, you wake up, you go to work. You go to sleep again, you wake up, you go back to work. On a weekend, you tired. You never have energy. You in a love-hate relationship with your spouse. And we don't know that half of these problems that's going on within our household is by way of speaking. And you speak what you think. So when you change your thinking, you can change the way you speak and how you relate and communicate with one another. We have forgotten how to communicate with one another. We either responding with anger and emotions, or we responding with strife. We don't never respond to things with love. And when we start looking through scriptures, you see scriptures don't deal like that. Scriptures deal with the love. Like, what happened to all the love? Why don't we speak love to one another? Why don't we speak life to one another anymore? We always hate. Hate for hate, violence with violence, bad deeds for bad deeds. What about a soft answer, turn away wrath? Like, what about scriptures like that? And we don't. This is the reason why we're in a sunken place like this, because this language we speaking, we don't even know. We think we speak in the English language, but there's no such thing as the English language. We speak in a Phoenician Hebrewic language and don't even know it. But we're going to get into it and we're going to show scriptures on this. So we see matrix mean the womb. Read all that strong before we go and get into this lesson.
Strong's definition says Rakim. It says from H7355. Says the womb, matrix, the womb.
So matrix is the wound. We inside a cosmic wound, but this cosmic wound is filled with negative, low vibrational thought forms because we're steady thinking negativity and speaking negativity. And you create what you speak. The Hebrew word for abracadabra means I create what I speak. That's why musicians say abracadabra before they find the illusions and pull the tricks. It means they creating what they speaking. And in the beginning, God spoke and God said, and whenever God said, things created from it. He said, let there be light, and there was light, right? And you was made in the similitude and the likeness of him. So when you speak, you create reality and materialism too. So we really have to start checking our words. So from there, we're going to go to Matthew 12. We're going to run through these because I ran through them earlier, but we're going to get to the meat that I didn't get to in class. Matthew 12, 34 to 37.
Matthew chapter 12, verse 34. O generations of vipers, how can ye be evil, speak good things?
You see that? He said, oh, ye generations of vipers, how can you be evil, speaking good things? He said, I know a tree by the look of his fruits. How are you sitting here, evil as all get up? I see your actions and I see your motives, but you in here speaking good things, like you false flagging, I heard. Right. Come on.
For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh.
So for out of the abundance of the heart is layab in Hebrew. It means your mind, your soul, the psyche. So from out of the abundance of your mind, your soul, your heart, the mouth speaketh. So you say what's ever on your mind. So if it's a person you with that's always speaking negative and they around you, they never have nothing good to say. Obviously, the things that they're speaking about is what's on their mind. So that is a negative person. We are not supposed to be around people like that, draining your energy. Why do you want to be around somebody that's draining your energy all the time? Every time y'all get together, they want to talk about somebody else's business, or they got some things to talk about that ain't got nothing to do with you. We supposed to be building as a nation. What happened to that? We supposed to be together, lifting each other up, speaking life into each other, and building as a nation. Come on, Hebrew.
Verse 35. A good man out of the good treasures of the heart bringeth forth good things. And the evil man out of the evil treasures bringeth forth evil things.
Come on.
But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give an account thereof in the day of judgment.
You see that? So he said that every idle word. Why would he say that? If words are not powerful, if words can't cause actions and reactions, if words is not spiritual, and words are not a significant part to do with manifestation, why would he sit here and say that every idle word you will have to account for on Judgment Day? Obviously, it's more power to your words than what you think. Yeah. And once we get into this lesson, you're going to realize that your words are spells and you're casting spells on yourself. And this is the reason why you can't get free, because you actually speak from your DNA. I understand you have the thyroids in the vocal box and you have vocal cords, but you speak from your DNA. Your DNA rolls and it transmits inside your T cell, your T blood cells. That's where your DNA is at. It's not in your C cells, it's in your T cells. It's not in the white blood cells. It's in the T cells, right? So when it goes through there, it is populated with oxygen. The oxygen and life is in the blood. So this oxygen is what you need to speak. That's why when you speak, breath come out. When you speak, this oxygen come out and it carries your sound waves and it carries your radio waves, what we call your vocals, right? So when you're speaking, you're actually speaking from your DNA. You're speaking life into existence. That's what God didn't teach Adam how to speak. He already knew how to speak. He drew them words from his DNA. So speaking is way more than what you think. It's not just me and you are communicating. It's by the way of creation. So we have to really be careful when we saying certain things. So he said every idle word. If you look up this word idle, it says emptiness. It's a vain thing, naughtiness, bad behavior, wickedness. He said all these things you will have to get account for in judgment. Why? Because anytime you speak, you create a thought form. And thought forms either make things alive or they kill things. You either speaking in creation or you speaking of destruction. Either or. You read that out, Hebrew?
Yeah, I read it.
All right, so let's get it. Let's go to Proverbs 18 and 19. Proverbs 18 and 19. Now, and y'all know these scriptures. These are some basic scriptures, but you know what I'm saying? This laying that groundwork. Proverbs 18 and 19.
Proverbs chapter 18, verse 19. A brother offended is harder to be won than a strong city.
You see that? It said a brother offended is harder to be won than what?
A strong city.
So you have a better chance of going and taking down Babylon than to win over a brother that you have offended. That means we need not to be We need to be trying our hardest not to offend our brothers. And we have to realize that you are nothing but a reflection of your brother. This is my reflection. There's no him, there's no me, there's only us. He is a extended personality of my imagination. Like, remember, everything exists inside of our minds. This is literally, I'm looking at a self-imagery image of me. So why would I treat him wrong? That doesn't mean I'm treating myself wrong, right? And once we really start thinking about this in this aspect and in this way, then we can really show the love of God. We have to understand that the first 5 commandments is for Yahweh. The second 5 is for Christ, and Christ is our brother. And the reason why he set it up like that is because he's saying, okay, the first 5 for God, you break these, you can't love the creator. The second 5 is for God, only begotten son, which is your brother. If you breaking these, you most definitely can't respect him. So why would you? So if I'm constantly disrespecting this brother right here, how can I respect Christ? No. If I'm constantly disrespecting my father, that actually I came through his semen, then how can I respect the Father in heaven or Mother Earth? If you constantly disrespecting Mother Earth or Mother Wisdom, and you don't even take ear to wisdom, how can you respect your mother in the flesh? So we see that the commandments were set up spiritually and physically to keep us alive in both of these planes, which is spiritually and physically. But all of these, you connect this physical realm and the spiritual realm by the way of speaking. This is how you connect both of these realms. So we have to be very, very, very careful when we speaking. So if you got to take a minute to respond to something, who cares if you look like a mute? Hey, be quiet for a minute, then respond. At least you thought about what you said before you said it. And when it comes off your lips, you don't have to take it back because you thought about it. Right. Come on, bro.
Verse 8, verse 19 again. A brother offended is harder to be won than a strong city, and their contentions are like the balls of a castle.
Ooh, come on.
A man's belly shall be satisfied with the fruit of his mouth.
Now, did you hear what he just said? A man's belly, his belly, your intestines shall be satisfied with the fruits of your mouth. Meaning what comes out of your mouth, actually feeds your body. Right. So if you constantly steady speaking negativity all day, every day, if you constantly steady speaking about low vibrational frequencies and thought forms all day, every day, and then you end up with cancerous cells and mutating cells in your body, you know where it came from. It came from your negative speaking. Or if you constantly speaking life into your household, into your brothers, into your sisters, into your ribs, into whoever, and you healthy. You see where it comes from. All of these things came from your lips because we have to realize that vocals are sounds. Sound waves, frequencies change the material that's around you. All you have to do is look this up. Go on to YouTube whenever y'all get a chance, family, and just listen to sound waves actually changing matter. They'll show you. They'll put sand and salt in a bucket, and they'll put certain type of frequencies on it, and it start making unique. Unique symbols and shapes. So if a machine is doing this, what about you? What about your breath? What about your breath form? What about your DNA speaking through your body? So if a machine can affect reality the way that's doing, that means every word that comes out of your mouth actually affects matter. Sure. Come on, Hebrew.
Well, to speaking things to existence, that's how the world was created.
What?
I said that's how the world was created.
And we actually finna go there next to show. When you go back to Genesis, you will see God spoke. He spoke 32 times. And these 32 times, every time he opened his mouth, something happened. Like we must understand that if God understand, if God stopped speaking right now, we would cease to exist. He's constantly speaking Christ, and Christ is constantly creating all these things into existence. Remember, time is, we don't understand time. No. He's holding this together with the word, and the word is what created everything. The moment he stopped speaking the word, all these things will stop existing. And you was made, like I said, you was made right after him. You was made in his image and in his likeness. So if he had that power and he gave you these very unique powers, that means you can do them too. So why not use these to create life and to start up life and building life, and stop using them to tear down people and to kill people? Because that's what we're doing. You know how many Negroes that died because somebody said, because some he say, she say? If people learn to actually shut their mouths, do you realize how many people will be healthy and alive right now? Sure. If people learn how to think before they actually speak. And it sounds simple, but we make it so complex. Sure. Come on, bro.
And just to piggyback off what you were saying.
To lamb back.
Huh?
Just to lamb back off what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay. Well, to lamb back off what you said is like, if you think about if he spoke 32 times in the beginning, just like man himself has 32 teeth.
Yeah.
And then like if you you know, with the numbers or whatnot, just like, you know, we're supposed to speak truth to one another. If you look at the numbers itself, it says man has 32 teeth. If you do 3 to the square root, it's 9. 9 is truth.
Man,
so we're supposed to speak truth to one another.
And that's crazy. God spoke 32 times, and you have to. Well, I don't got 32 teeth. I ate candy all my life.
Oh, yeah, I got 26. But
right, I probably got. I probably got like 22 of them. But you're originally supposed to have 32 teeth, and you use your entire mouth to speak these phonic sounds out. Right. And it's ironic. Ironically, he spoke 32 times. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't. This Bible is something amazing, man. We can never put it down. You see what I'm saying? And it gets deeper and it gets deeper. Like the rabbit hole goes so deep when it comes to these here holy scriptures. Right. Come on, you bro.
Verse 21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue.
Ooh, you see that? Death and life in the power of the tongue. And what I was telling the family earlier in the assembly of Melchizedek, I looked up these words. I'm like, well, maybe he's speaking in metaphors. You know what I'm saying? When he said death and life, I looked them up. You look up death, it's gonna tell you the grave, a dead body. Right. So he physically talking to her. Death and life, life to bring something to make alive, a living human being, a living organism such as me, myself, and I, and my brother. Your words actually control these things. So he said, death and life is in the power of your tongue. Right. Like we read this all day. This Sunday's favorite scripture. Well, you know, death and life is in the power of the tongue, brother. Don't even know they finna go home and speak death on their brother. Right. They finna go home and speak death on their rib, they wives. They gonna go home and speak death on their children. And that's another thing we really have to stop doing, family. Like start speaking life into these little ones. Quit telling them that they can't do something. You know what I'm saying? Or we calling them little bitches or. You know what I'm saying? Little bitch, I done seen people call they sons little bitches because they acting soft. Let's build them up instead of talking down on them. Yeah. Or they don't know something, we call them stupid. Like, why are you talking to your seed like that? And then you constantly speaking these negative vibrations and it's molding and shaping his reality so he grow up and be everything that you phonically said that he was, because you create reality with your words. And the same thing has happened to us, people. That's why it says that we call proud words and bywords. Isn't we called that? We called everything but who we are, which is chosen seeds of God. We call niggas. We call porch monkeys. We call gangster, gangbangers. Everything but who we are. When we are the chosen seeds, we're technologies of God. You see what I'm saying? And now you see by them calling us thugs all our life. You look out in the street corner, who out in the street corners? Niggas acting like thugs. You see what I'm saying? So this is this matrix. This is this illusion built off of these phonic words that we have been trapped in. And now it's time to peel back these layers and get out of it. You done with that, King?
No. I'm continue. And they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof.
Ooh, and it says, they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. So if you like speaking death, guess what you're going to eat? Death. If you love speaking and professing life, guess what's going to be a part of you? Life. Because you are that powerful, family. Whatever you speak, you create. You create what you speak. We're going to get to it, though. So from there, I want to go to Genesis. We're going to start this in Genesis. And we're going to show how God spoke and how it was created. And then it tells you in the beginning it was the word. In the beginning it was the thought. And the thought created all things. And this same thought was with God. And without him wasn't nothing created. He's letting you know that your thoughts and you having these thoughts and then make it trickle down to these vocals. And you force that DNA to push out these certain type of syllables and words, which is logos. We have to understand that words are logos. For instance, like I was telling the family, when you read books, right? You read this book and have no pictures inside of this book. But when you read this book, you picturing everything. Words is the way of communicating. Words is the way to express your thoughts. Without words, how do I know how you feeling? Without words, how do I know what's on your mind? Without words, how can I picture any type of logo or imagery? Like, for instance, I'll just read something real fast. It says, and Miriam and Aharon spoke to Moses and defiled his character because he married an Ethiopian woman. These are words I'm reading, family, but in my head, I see Moses with some dreadlocks. I see his sister, and I see him marrying a Cushite Ethiopian woman. I can picture this. All of this was generated from what though? Words, because words create image and thoughts creates what? A hologram, a projection, what we call a stimulation, a reality. But we've been looking through an illusion because we have been trapped inside of deaf thinking and deaf language, what makes a deaf culture. And we're going to show that all of this came from the certain amount of angels that taught us certain things, and we took them, and we've been under this for commerce. We're still commerce. We're still merchandise, and we don't even see it. We too busy worried about other things and not worried about what's really important here. And what's really important here is your salvation. Salvation means freedom. We must be free. Now, how can you be free if you're mentally in chains? You too afraid to even go somewhere because you so used to the brick walls. You like what they call them, the Mayans?
Mayans.
Yeah, you don't care. You can't go past here. It's time to wake up, family. Come on, bro.
Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth.
You see that? So in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. We see in his creation here. Well, how did he create the heavens and the earth? Go ahead, King.
Verse 2. And the earth was without form and void.
You see that? And the earth was without form and void.
And darkness was upon the face of the deep.
And
the Spirit of God moved upon the face of water.
Come on.
And God said.
And God what?
Said.
So this is the first time in Torah or in Tanakh, in the Bible, whatever y'all want to call it. This is the first time in these holy scriptures where God actually spoke. The first time he spoke, guess what he did? He created something. Did he speak and say anything bad, brother?
No.
He said to do what?
Let there be light. Let
there be light. Now we see in the beginning it was darkness. It was chaos. The Spirit of God was on the face of the deep. So he could have said anything. He could have said, what the hell happened? But what he did was he spoke life and that light into existence. And this same light we realized was a Mashiach Yahushua, was the Messiah, once you link it up with proper precepts. But we see his first creation was his son, and then his son created everything else. So we need to be doing the same thing. We need to be walking around speaking life into each other, creating things, not bringing things down, family. Not bringing things down. Come on, Ken.
And there was light.
And there what?
There was light.
So he said it, and there was. You do the same thing. Whether it pops up and started existing in this dimension of density or the next dimensional plane. Whatever you speak, it must come and it must manifest, because God's word do not come back void. And guess what? In the spiritual etheric realm, yours can't either. So we have to be careful what we put out here. We have to be careful, because whenever you speak, you create something called thought forms. Look up thought forms. Thought forms is an actual living, breathing, multi-dimensional entity. Come on, bro.
Verse 4. And God saw the light, that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness.
Woo, and he did what?
Divided the light from the darkness.
Come on.
And God called the light day.
And God what?
Called the light day.
We see him talking again. Now he's naming and labeling things. We have to get out of that too. See, he's the creator of all things. He can name and label and judge. We can't. Right. Judge means to rule. Judgment means to rule the mind. Judge means ruler. Ment means mentis or mentos in Latin. You look up mentis and mentos, it means mental, the mind. So to be a judge or to be a ruler, you have to be able to judge somebody's soul, their mindset. I don't own a soul to judge. I don't even own mine. God owns mine. Scripture says all souls are his. So who are you to judge anybody? And when we judge, and we supposed to judge righteously according to our measuring stick, which is these scriptures. So we have to be careful, family. Come on.
Verse 5. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day.
Ooh, and the evening and morning was the first day. Come on.
Verse 6. And God said.
Hold on. What did he do again?
And God said.
And God said. So we see that the Elohim is constantly speaking creation into existence. Yeah. He's creating what he speaks. Abracadabra. And God said. Bereshit bara Elohim et. And he's constantly creating up in here. Constantly. And if you get to Genesis 1:26, he said, let us make man in our image after our likeness. We know that the image is the soul and the likeness is the similitude thereof. So we have these very same unique powers, and we using them to do wickedness and keep ourselves inside this trap, this matrix, this illusion, this maze, instead of getting up out of it. Why is that? Do you not believe in yourself, family? Do you not believe you possess the power that the Bible said you possess? Like, what is it? It's time to lift the veils off our eyes and leave up out of this maze that we in. And we can start at a focal point. And this point can be our speak. Let's change up our language. And I'm not saying we have to speak a whole entirely different dialect. Just change the way your intentions of them. When you get mad, don't tell nobody you hate them. Don't tell nobody what you finna do to them. Don't tell nobody that they ugly or that they stupid, they weak. If he weak, lift him up. Let him know, hey, be strong. You have the potential to be a great warrior. You know what I'm saying? We have to start changing up our ideology and the way we speak, because when we speak, we either speak in life or death. Ain't no in between. It ain't no he's half dead. You know what I'm saying? None of that. Come on, bro. We can read one more, and then we go get to John 1.
Verse 7. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. Right. And it was so.
And it was so. So from there, family, we're going to go to John 1, 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to hit that James 3, and then we're going to jump, because I went through most of these scriptures earlier in class, but we got to get to the science part and the more deep in depth part. We didn't get to that earlier, so we're going to get to that now. And while he looking for that, I can do some shouts out. We got Hans Holtz. What's up, Hans Holtz? Shalom. We got Jagir R. Prince. Shalom, shalom. Opinions. We got oh, okay, I see them on here. Rico Polo. Shalom, shalom. Shalom family. We got Tristan. Shalom family. We got Hebrew G73. Shalom family. We got Wani Wan. Love you, bro. Hey, love you too. Love your brothers. You love yourself. Most definitely. We got One King Love One. Evil communications corrupt good manners. You know it do. I actually had that on the script. I actually got that on my list. So we hit that too, family. But we must really understand that when you speak negative, these demons, these spirits of these fallen angels actually latch out and attach to you. So when you speaking, you're literally creating these thought forms. So we got to make sure we speak in light and not darkness, because the creator of light and darkness is separated by two different things, and that's by your attention. So we can't constantly be speaking negativity. You feel me? That must be changed, family. That must be changed. So we're gonna start off in John 1 and 1. John 1 and 1, family.
John chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning was the word.
So in the beginning was the word. You look up this word. Word is logo. Now a logo is something that you put on top of a building to sell a product. Like for instance, this is a logo. Y'all see that? That's a logo, family. So when you look at this, you don't even got to see the words. It's going to make you mesmerized about what it is. And words will start actually formulating in your head. Just like when you see the Apple logo, you automatically in your head either going to go to fruits or you going to go back to the garden, even though Apple ain't even mentioned in Genesis. Right. So you see certain images take your mind to certain type of places. Come on.
And the word was with God. And the word was God.
Right.
The same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made.
You see that? And without this word, nothing was made, because words create everything. Words create everything. So you went to 3, right?
Yeah.
All right, so let's get James. James chapter 3. We hit James 3, and then we'll get to the Phoenicians, because I know y'all wondering why I got this book. A lot of Hebrews had this book, but we don't even be reading it for real. It's all daggers up in here that lines up with scripture. All kinds of daggers. Johnny Johnson, shalom, Hebrew. Shalom, shalom. We in the book of James, chapter 3. We're going to start at 1.
James chapter 3, verse 1. My brethren, be not many masters, knowing that we shall receive the greater condemnation.
So he talking to his brother. He said, don't be many teachers, because you claiming that you teaching this word. You better live by it. Otherwise, you're going to suffer the greater condemnation if you get found off. You say you a bishop, you better live by it, because you're going to suffer the greatest condemnation if you fall short in that day. Come on.
Verse 2, for in many things we offend all. If any man offend not in word, the same is a perfect man.
You see that? So he said in many things we offend all, but if a man offend not with his words, with his tongue, he said that same is what?
A perfect man.
A perfect man. He called a perfect man as one who watch his tongues, one who watch his words. That's beautiful. So now we see one of the steps to becoming perfect is by what? Watching your words, watching what comes out of your mouth, watching what you say. Come on, Hebrew.
And be able also to bridle the whole body.
You see that? So if you can watch your words, and if you can watch what you're saying, you're able to control your whole body. Right now, we speaking this backward language, and we can't watch what we saying. Well, you can watch it, but you speaking backwards. For instance, like I was saying earlier, we'll say good morning, right? Good morning, but you mourn at awake. You say I awake. Awake is where you celebrate the dead at, and then you mourn over the dead. And then you work a week days. So you're actually working in a week days, and you're going to a job. Job means persecution. So you work in a persecution, you awake in the morning to mourn, then you work a week days only to get off on the weekends, and you weaken. Like all of these words that we're talking about here is spells. And then notice with spells, in order to spell, you have to write it down. You send your children to school to a spelling bee. Spells come from witches. Witches cast spells and nets, right? So then you go to a spelling bee. And when you write down words, they want you to write it in cursive. Cursive, why do I have to write a cursive language? And then you write in cursive to write sentences. Sentences is something, a term you must serve, like a prison sentence. You see the spell that we under? We don't see this. Like we don't see what we doing with each other here. So we constantly speaking things, thinking that it's a good thing, and it's actually bondage that we putting on each other by speaking these things. Then they call it a prison term. Don't you call certain paragraphs and the way you say something a term? You see what I'm saying? So you have been made, and then this is the thing about the birth, even our birth in the way, this is a whole spell. You get birth. Once you give birth and you come out the canal, it has something to do with commerce and shipping. We're going to get to it though. When soon as you come out your mother's womb, or you come out of the matrix to come into this holographic matrix, the first thing they do to your parents, you look up the etymology word. Where's my etymology book? Hold on, family. You look up the etymology words to parents. Y'all make sure y'all get this book, family. You look up the etymology word to parents. It means a pair that rent. A pair is two people that rent you out. Then when you come out, your parents sold you to the government. Govern means control. Mint means mind. So government means ones who control the minds. And then they control states, right? What state do they control? Your mind state. Now check this out. So the baby comes from the womb. The first thing they do is they get his soul, the sole of his feet. Soul and soul is the same thing. Look it up. And they print it and they put it on a piece of paper. They attach it with a certificate number. Then they sell your baby to the devil, to the state, which is the devil. Right. Sell it to the government. And then he's locked inside of this system, and he's stuck inside of this matrix. Now he got to get a job. Without identification, he can't work. He can't feed himself. Yeah. See what I'm saying? He got to go to grammar school. Grammar comes from the word glamour. Grammar comes from the word glamour. Glamour comes from the word gamori. Gamori comes from the word what? Gremlin. Gamori or demons. Look it up, family. If you look up the word gamori, it's a demon book. It's a witchcraft book. So we see, and everybody want to go to glamour school and have glamour and be glamorous. See, our grammar is what we speaking. These things actually are attached to living entities and thought forms. So we have to be careful when we say certain things out of our mouth, because we can actually be speaking spells on one another. And we learned this type of thinking from these fallen angels. But we going to get to it, family. Come on, bro.
Verse 4. Behold, also the ships, which though they be so great and are driven of fierce winds, yet or they turn about with a small helm. So now it's talking about these big ships. It said a ship can be this big, but notice this big old ship is turned by a small helm. Just the same, your whole body is created and is dictated by your small tongue. Your tongue rules your whole body. Don't nobody want to be around nobody that talk negative all day. Don't nobody want to have nothing to do with that body. They're like, get away from me. He's negative. All he speak about is negativity, violence, sex, and stuff I ain't trying to hear nothing about. I'm trying to transcend my mind, elevate my consciousness, and he is bringing me down with his low thought forms that he constantly creating and sending into my life because he don't know how to shut up. See, we must learn to bridle our tongues. Come on. Whithersoever the governed listen. Verse 5. Even so the tongue is a little member, and boasted great things.
You see that? The tongue is a little member, but it boasts great things. You see how big things can come from this little muscle, this tongue. Things can come from this. What about motivation speakers? They don't have them for no reason. A motivational speaker would speak to 100,000 people and have 100,000 people feeling like they superheroes by the time they leave. You know what I'm saying? Then you have a deaf coach, or a coaches, a coach speakers, and they actually speak negative thought forms on each other. They be like, they call each other, like I got books on this stuff. They call each other, they say, what's up, low life, or hello, low life. We don't even know when we saying hello. Hello comes from the root words hell or helios, mean Hellenistic. So when we say hello, we saying low hell, meaning we giving praises to the sun god. You see what I'm saying? But this phonetic language will have you thinking that you're just being generous, saying hello, good morning, when you saying, really saying, I praise the sun god, and death is coming to you this week. Hello, good morning. Hello, praise the sun god, and have a good morning at the wake. And don't forget to earn a living. You put ashes in urns, y'all, but you earn a living at your job, which means persecution, huh? You see what I'm saying? So which is death. It's a deaf culture. We've been stuck inside of this deaf culture, this illusion that we think we actually free in, and we not. And once we change our thinking, we can change our speech patterns. And when we change this up, this is a start. I'm not saying it's the end. See, it's been a diabolical plot on the black man and black woman. It's like the government and the devil that went so far and so in detail, and I'm talking about on many levels to keep us in bondage that soon as you peel back a layer, you like, damn, it's more jail bars. You break out of this jail, damn, it's another jail bar. So you constantly breaking yourself off chains, because through all out these centuries and thousand years, we've been beaten down and trodden mentally as a people. So we constantly keeping our head above water. We like a 6-year-old baby that can't swim, but he's trying to keep his head afloat. But look, he that endured to the end, he that never give up and keep his head above water, when the Savior come, we up out of this illusion. But don't get it twisted. This is an illusion, family. Come on, you bro.
Verse 6, and the tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity. Whew. So is the tongue among our members, that it defileth the whole body.
You see that? It says the tongue defileth the whole entire body. Yeah. You can say one thing and defile your temple from your mouth. That's not like significant, family. I mean, that is deep. I can say one thing and I can defile my whole entire body. I needs to be being slow to speak, quick to hear. Come on, bro.
Continue from 6. And set it on fire, the course of nature.
Who set up on fire what?
The course of nature.
Come on.
And it's set on fire of hell.
Set on fire of hell. So your tongue, your speaking can bring hell fire.
Right.
Come on.
Verse 7. For every kind of beast, and of birds, and serpents, and of things in the sea is tamed, and have been tamed of mankind. But the tongue can no man tame.
You see that? So look, he's saying that we done tame crocodiles, we done tame Godzilla, we done tame dinosaurs. Hell, we done tame what's the Bigfoot.
Right.
Every creature under the sun have been tamed, but can't no man tame the tongue. This is how powerful your words is. So we need to watch it.
It kills that sticks and stones.
May break my bones and words will never hurt me. That's the biggest damn lie there is. For real. Sticks and stones will break your bones, but words hurt more than them all. For real. Literally. Like it's stuff that you done said in the relationship. Your wife or your husband has said to you 10 years later from now, y'all get into the argument. I bet you what they said to get brought up. Because that one it hits. Like we reading that Hebrews 4:12. It said the word is sharper than any two-edged sword. It cuts through the body, the bone, and the marrow. The word is just that powerful. Words are just that powerful. So
it said the word.
Yeah, the word. Come on, bro.
Verse 8. But the tongue can no man tame. It is unruly evil, full of deadly poison. Therewith bless we God, even the Father, and therewith curse we men, which are made after the similitude of God. Verse 10. Out of the same mouth proceeded blessings and curses.
You see that? It says out of the same mouth proceeded blessings and curses. This is how powerful your mouth is. You can bless somebody and curse somebody with your words. What are you doing with your words? Are you cursing people? Because when you curse somebody, remember, they are nothing but a figment of your imagination. All this exists inside of your mind. We connected to one conscious network. So when you curse somebody, guess who you cursing? Yourself. We got to think about stuff like her. You see, you're sinning and you're comfortable with sin because you don't realize how powerful you are. You don't realize the standard that you've been held to. So you're comfortable in your sin. Come on, Hebrew.
Out of the same mouth proceeded blessings and curses. My brother, these things ought not so be. Doeth a fountain send forth the same place sweet water and bitter?
No, it don't.
Can the fig tree, my brethren, bear olive berries?
So have you ever seen a fig tree grow olive berries? Have you ever seen an apple tree grow oranges? No. So that's the same with your mouth. You shouldn't be speaking blessings and curses, negative and positive, out of that same tongue. Yeah. That is backwards, family. If we're going to be about life, let's speak life. Why are you speaking of death? And if you see death, speak life into it. No. Did y'all hear what I just said? If you see death, speak life into it. We are gods. We are here to create, not destroy and bring down. We're supposed to be gaining souls, gaining the brothers, not turning them around and pointing them towards the dungeon, toward the dunghill. We're creators. So if we're creators and we know that our tongues and our words is powerful and we speak from our DNA, and whenever we speak, we create something called this material, multifaceted universe and world. Why are we using this to tear down and kill? We're supposed to be using this to build up, to create communities, to create this ladder, this Jacob's ladder, to help our fellow brothers get back to the resurrection of mindset, get back to the kingdom. Huh? Come on.
Either a vine figs, so can no fountain both yield salt water and fresh.
Whew, come on.
Who is a wise man endued with knowledge among you? Let him show out of good conversation his works with meekness of wisdom. You see that? And we can stop there right here. It says, so a wise man will show you he's wise by his conversation, what comes out of his mouth. And notice what it was backed up with. Meekness, which is the fruits of the spirit, love, and wisdom. So from there, I want to show y'all this book again. I see y'all was asking about it. It's called The Dictionary of Etymology. It is by Robert K. Barnhart. Make sure y'all cop that. I got a couple more I can show y'all too to get. Man, like once you start getting into this stuff, it'll blow your mind and show you that these spells and curses that we under, we're literally speaking a Hebrew Phoenician language backwards. We think we speak in something called the English language, but there's no such thing as the English language. This is a word that's been created. We're speaking our language backwards. So instead of speaking blessings, we speak curses all day, thinking we speaking blessings. And it's not about the way the letter is worded. It's how it sounds. You see what I'm saying? So world and world is the same thing. You get what I mean? And we can go through script. We can go through these books and show you in line up with scriptures. Like we literally need to start training ourselves to slow down before we actually give answers, and to slow down before we start formulating words to have conversations. Because you get done with a conversation, you done spoke death so many times on each other, and you don't even know it. Or you get mad and you say things that you're going to regret 5 minutes later, all because you can't bridle and have self-control and hold your tongue. Like, this is not making sense, fam. So from here, I want to actually get into where this language come from. We're going to read a little bit of Babylon and Timbuktu. If y'all got y'all books, family, we'll wait on y'all to get them. I'm looking at the comments boards. So if y'all got y'all books, open them up. If not, y'all can just read along with us. We're going to start in 1. What I really want to read, I want to read this page too. I got this marked, but I want to read 1. We're going to go into ancient Samaria because this is where these words, this language came from. So we're going to read this one first. Ancient Samaria, a black civilization. Yep, right there. Call out the page for them and everything. Y'all got y'all books? We on page, what page 13. Is that? We on page 13. Yes, self-control is power. We on page 13. Shalom, shalom, family. Ready?
Yep.
Ancient black civilization. It says more than 6,000 years ago, the land called Mesopotamia, there developed the most remarkable civilization than known to mankind.
You see that? So more than, you can go get that. It says more than 6,000 years ago. Now 6,000 years, we dealing with Bible years here. 6,000 years, it's 6 days. It took 6 days to create the world. He rested on the 7th. So he must be talking about somewhere around the Garden of Eden. And it's talking about ancient Mesopotamia. What we got going on? Shalom, shalom, Hebrew. What's up with you, Hebrew? Shalom. We're here talking to the family. We're talking to the family.
You get up.
What's up, my brothers, man?
What's up with you, brother?
Y'all good?
Y'all good.
All praise.
Back and beat. What's up, What's up, Hebrew?
You right here. Shalom to the Worldwide Assembly, man.
Y'all heard Maccabee? Maccabee said shalom.
Yahoo!
Yahoo.
Trolls on
I said,
Nah, it was a couple trolls, but they ignored them. They jumped off.
Okay, so I can throw some up.
Yeah. Go throw them headlong up off the deal. Go ahead, bro.
it said this civilization was centered between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers.
So now if we go to scripture and we get back to Genesis and we start reading Genesis 2:9 when the garden created, it's going to be the same place that this brother here is talking about. So we see that this is where this life has sprung forth from. Come on, Hebrew.
Said these rivers begin in the mountains of Armenia and flow in a southern direction toward the Persian Gulf. The soil of this area is tremendously fertile because of the, they said it, alluvial.
Yeah, because the alluvial.
Alluvial deposits brought down by the two rivers.
So it's talking about this place was popping. The civilization was popping and thriving here because this is where all these rivers, the rivers came into four heads and ran through this place in ancient Mesopotamia, right? So this is where the beginning of life, if we know it, have started, right? So if the beginning of life, as we know, it started in this place, which was amongst so-called melanated people, right? This means language started here too. I'm talking about language amongst men, not that language amongst angels and in the heaven. So we gonna trace down the language and see where we at now, and it's gonna blow your mind what language we speak until this day. Come on, Hebrew.
Says European civilization developed from the ancient black civilization. Without this black civilization, white domination and influence, as we know it today, would have been improbable.
So it's showing you that white people actually got their wickedness from dark races.
Right.
White people learned how to dominate their own people through the dark races, and we finna go back through it. See, what y'all be failing to realize is everybody always talking about like, ain't no African booty scratcher, this and that and this and that. But if Abraham would have never got that promise, you'll be in the same boat as them. If Abraham would have never got that promise and crossed over the Euphrates River, that's what got him that Hebrew name. Before then, before Noah and them got off the ark, everybody was called sons of Adam. It wasn't no nationality then. So we be banging on this nationality card. Everybody spoke the same languages up to Genesis 11. And then when that language got split up after that, it still was the same language, just in different dialects. So you can speak curses, whether you speak in Hebrew, whether you speak in English, whether you speak in Spaniard, whatever. If you are speaking negative, you are speaking in a fallen tongue language. You are speaking inside of this matrix. So we have to change our thinking and change our way of speaking. Come on, Hebrew.
A number of different tribes were entrenched in the southern part of the Tigris-Euphrates region. This southern section was known at the different times by many names, amongst which are Sumer.
Sumer. Everybody want to talk about Sumer. Yes, the Hebrews are from Sumer. Everybody is from up out of Sumer. Sumer, Samaria, Akkad, Elam, whatever you want to call it. There's many different names because everybody thrived there. It's called Babylon. We know as Babylon today. Abraham is from what? The land of Chaldees, the land of Ur, in Samaria, the land of Or, the land of light, out of Samaria. So what language was he speaking? You think he just what? We crossed over the Euphrates rivers and learned the African language, learned a whole new language system. They were speaking the same language. Come on.
Akkad and Chaldea. But the name best known to us is Babylonian.
It's Babylonian. So Akkad. So the first language on the language tree was called the Akkadian language or the Akkadian language. This is not the language that Adam was speaking. This is a language that was adopted after Adam fell, right? And then it trickled down. Well, somewhere between there, this is where this Phoenician language came from. The Phoenicians, they call them that, but there are nothing but Canaanites. The Canaanites spoke Hebrew too. They're just different dialects. Now, we speak a Phoenician language. We call it English. But once we really get into the syllables and stuff here, we say a lot of things that's not so-called English. Everything, English is a whore of languages. They just went from every different dialect and took it. Just like they go from every different other things and take every other thing. Like, we have to realize that America is the great whore of Babylon. She take from everybody. And that's how this language got comprised. It's mixed with everything, but we have to realize that all languages started from one root. So when we realize that and we start being slow to speak and quicker to hear, we can be careful when we start speaking curses on each other. Like, hold on, did I just say that? Dang, why would I call you a nigga? You know what I'm saying? We cool. What's up, my nigga? Like, why I can't call you king? Why I can't call you priest? Well, what's up with the nigga word? Or you women like to call each other bitches like it's cool. What up, bitch? Like, why are you calling yourself a female dog? You got fleas?
Yeah.
Huh? You got on a flea collar? You see what I'm saying? We need to change our way of thinking. When you change the way you think, you would change the way you speak. When you change the way you speak, you would change your reality. Because when you speak, you create this electrical magnetic field, this spectrum. And you create entities and thought forms. And these entities and thought forms create materialism. So you're literally doing what God did. Whenever you speak, you are acting like God because you're created. In the beginning, God said 32 times. And all these things was created from it. You was made in his likeness after the similitude of him. So you need to be careful when you speak it and know what you speaking. That's all I'm saying. I ain't saying we got to run to another language. Just change up the way you speaking. Get into the root words. Start studying more. The scripture says, study to show thyself approved. We just repeat what the next brother saying. Don't even know what it means. Like, I had a brother say Shalakia one day. He was reading the script, Shalakia. I'm like, what does that even mean? I don't know. I seen him say it off of YouTube. It's like, you don't even know what it means. But you going to say, yeah, but you going to say Shalakia, though. You just repeating things, but you don't know what it means. All right, you're a parrot now, huh? See, it's time to stop being parrots, family, and start actually speaking with meaning. Speak with passion. We speak just because we mad. We speak just because we got too much liquor in our system, liquor courage, or we speak because we bored. Most Negroes speak simply because they are bored. No, let's stop there. Let's reframe our tongues, family. Come on.
So this area was also the location of the Garden of Eden.
And this is proven in scripture. We gonna go there though. These same rivers that this brother just mentioned is the same exact position. And if you look at it right, it was like Palestine all the way to Iraq. You know what I'm saying? That's eastward in Eden. This is where the garden's at. And notice this is where the most wars is at till this very day is where? Iraq, Lebanon. Huh? Yeah, you toss them headlong. Yeah, toss them.
Heinz Hope just got tossed.
Yeah, toss them headlong up out of the room. All right, family. We got Maccabee. He's on the toss out game, so y'all ain't got to worry about responding. Mally tossing them out. All praise. Come on, bro.
It says, and the people of this region were black, were jet black.
What?
Were jet black.
That's that thriving melanin. Like this. You're so black, you look red. So black, you look blue. Come on.
That's it for that.
Oh, now we got one more thing to read, and then we're gonna get back to the scripture, family. So we finna get on these Phoenicians. You can just read it right to there.
Pick up from
me? Yeah, no, read it right there.
Okay.
All right, we flipped the page
28,
family. We flipped the page 28.
It says the Phoenicians spoke a Semitic language.
You see that? It says what?
The Phoenicians spoke a Semitic language.
So the Phoenicians spoke a Hamitic and Semitic language. We must understand, family, everything started from the Semitic language. Everything. So every language is a Semitic language. The people on earth was Semitic at first. When you break it down, when Noah jumped off the ship and Noah came from the bird, who was his first son? Shem, then Ham, then Japheth. We act like Ham was first. Now we understand that the Africans are older than Hebrew Israelites as a nation. But let's don't get it twisted. We have the same exact ancestors. We act like we don't have the same exact great grandfather here. We all got the same great grandfather. But we be like, ain't no kin of no African booty scratcher. Only thing that make you different from them is your promised blood. And that's from Abraham. He listened. And when he listened, his biology, his belief changed his biology. Now we have covenant blood in him. Before the covenant blood, everybody was what? Sons of Adam. Like, we missing the point here. That's why it's not all about that. Now, we know we play certain roles and positions when we get to the kingdom, but everybody on planet Earth end game is to get what? The kingdom. Whether they mopping floors, whether they busting tables, or whether they the ones who ordering. Everybody's goal is to get to the kingdom, right? And all I'm saying is one of the first steps is watch how you speak. Watch how you speak. Know that you have power and dictate it well. Weigh that and balance well. Come on, King.
So closely allied to the Hebrew that the Phoenicians and Hebrews, though different dialects, may practically be regarded as the same language.
That's all you got to read. So now we see that from the book, and we can go to another book and read the same thing. And these are sources outside of the script that's vouching for this. So the Phoenician language and the Hebrew language is the same thing. So look, we finna get to it. Let's get to Genesis 6. Genesis 6, 1 through 4. We finna run through these real quick. Again, I spoke on most of this stuff earlier, but now it's time to get to the stuff I didn't get. Hebrews 6, 1 through 4.
Hebrews or Genesis?
I mean, Genesis 6. My bad. My bad, family. Genesis 6, 1 through 4. Genesis 6, 1 through 4.
Yeah,
let me get there real quick. I don't know what you can.
Genesis chapter 6, verse 1. And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose.
So we see the sons of God are summoning themselves from heaven, and they went into the daughters of men, right? And they took them wives. Come on.
And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man.
Oh, and what he say?
My spirit shall not always strive with man.
Come on.
But that he is also flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years.
And you see this we're not even living 120 years no more. Right. That was my great-great-grandmother days. The black Negro today ain't even living to be 80, man. You know what I'm saying? So we have to take this in consideration. That's why it's good to speak life into one another. Live a life. Look, holistic health is a lifestyle. Righteousness is a lifestyle. It's not just by speaking. It's about walking. It's about walking. Come on.
Verse 4. There were giants in the earth in those days.
So the giants came from the fallen angels coming down and sleeping with the women. They produced giants. That was the offspring. I mean, think about it. You got angelical blood mixing with human blood. And some stuff gonna be off here, right? Come on.
And also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they birthed them children, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown.
Men of renown. All right, we finna get into the lost books for a little second. We're gonna talk about these fallen angels and show what they taught. And I'm gonna show y'all that these spells have been intertwined with our language. So we constantly speaking to one another, speaking spells on each other and don't even know it. So we got to watch what we say to each other and watch how we speak. Come on, King. Yeah, start right there. We're going to read 6, 7, and 8. Hold this up for the family. I know y'all know how we rock. I know. And my bad, I got covers off. That means I'm in it. That's all. So we got the pseudo picker for Old Testament. I already showed y'all that. Make sure if y'all ain't got that Babylon for Timbuktu, grab that. Grab the Apocrypha because we finna get in that. And then when we done, I want to show y'all a couple books to get to read in y'all spare time. Don't start picking them up more than y'all pick up y'all Bibles, though. Remember, the Bible is the source. The Bible is the source. If it don't link up with the Bible, throw it out. So we reading this, and it lines up with the Bible. And it actually lines up with the book of Jasher too. So cop Jasher too. We need all these books, man, and run them together. Blow your mind once you start putting this puzzle together. You like, I get it. You will see we are in a matrix. We're in a stimulated illusion. And we got to break the chains of this stuff. And the only way we can break the chains of it by recognize truth for what it is.
All praise, man.
Hallelujah.
Y'all brothers doing an excellent job, bro.
All praise.
Hallelujah.
All praise.
This Enoch chapter 6, verse 1. In those days, when the children of man had multiplied, it happened that there were born unto them handsome and beautiful daughters.
You see that? So the days when the children of man multiplied, they begot beautiful daughters. Now remember, we got watchers right now. It's watchers up in the constellation of Orion. They checking us out, supposed to be watching, making sure we good. Because not to mention, it's a galactic war going on that the earth don't know about. It's a galactic war. War that started in heaven. So that's the reason why there was watchers. What do you have watchmen for? They watching out, being guardian angels. They making sure ain't nothing coming from the star system of Pleiades, and nuclear war ain't coming to drop on Earth. But instead of them holding their post, they fell from the heavens to come sleep with the women. Right. They fell from their post to come sleep with some flesh. Some flesh. And this messed up everything, family. Come on, Hebrew.
And the angels, the children of heaven, saw them and desired them. And they said to one another, come, let us choose wives for ourselves from among the daughters of man.
You see that? So they look, let's go down and we want to hump on some daughters of man. That's what we want to do. Come on.
And beget us children. And Semeias, being their leader, said unto them, I fear that perhaps you will not consent that this deed should be done, and I alone will become responsible for this great.
Yeah, Dana, Yisrael. We on page 15, family. We on page 15. My bad for cutting you off.
No, it's cool.
We on page 15. We in chapter 6, family. I bad. All right, come on.
I alone.
No, we ain't in Babylon from Timbuktu.
No.
We inside the Pseudepigrapha, family. My bad for speaking too fast. We inside the Pseudepigrapha. And what we doing is we reading the precept to this Genesis 6. Like if I'm going too fast for y'all, family, let me know to slow down. I'll slow down for y'all. Because if y'all not getting no edification, then ain't no point in me sitting down doing this whole thing. Remember, we family. We just sharing information. All right, come on, Hebrew.
But they all responded to him. Let us all swear an oath and bind everyone among us by a curse.
You hear that? So look, they swore an oath. Now check this out. This is going back into this word. So now we're starting to see where the first matrix and the first magician and the first sorcery ever took place at. With these fallen angels. So sorcery came from who? The angels that was in heaven. Now God didn't create sorcery. He did create magnetic forces, which is in etymology magic. Magic comes from magnetic. He created electromagnetic forces, meaning miracles and powers, right? But these angels use this electromagnetic force and they done wickedness with it. They binded their souls to a curse and to a deed, right? And we do this every day. I put that on my mama. You don't own your mama to put it on your mama. You just cursed her. 9 out of 10, you lying anyway. You know what I'm saying? I put that on my children. Why are you putting things on your children? You don't own your children's soul. Who are you to put that on the children? Or I put that on God. How can you fix your tongue to put something on God? You own nothing. You don't even own your own soul. So how do you own anything to call, like you have collateral? You gonna put your children up for collateral? So we have to watch our thinking and our speech. But we see while reading these scriptures, the first sorcery came from these fallen angels. Come on.
What is it that you putting on God?
Right.
Or your mama or your son?
Right. Right. I put that out right. Right. That let you know that like it gotta mean something bad. Meaning if I'm caught lying, something bad's gonna happen to my mama or my son or my children.
Right.
See, negative thinking. We have to watch the way we think, family. Come on.
Continue again. It says, let us all swear an oath to bind everyone among us by curse, not to abandon this suggestion, but to do the deed.
What? But to do what?
The deed.
But to do the deed. So we see even angels was falling from lust for what? Mindsets, even angels. And that don't give the Negro excuse to go out here and be leading with the wrong head. But I'm just saying that's how strong this lust feeling is. It was even in the heavens. Come on.
Then they all swore together and bound one another by the curse. And they were altogether 200, and they descended into Ordos, which is a summit of the Hermon.
Oh, what the summit of what? Mount Hermon, right? The Mount Hermon. Right. Now check this out. Mount Hermon is between Persia and is between Palestine. If you look at Persia and between Persia and Lebanon. My bad, family. Between Palestine and Lebanon. Between Palestine and Lebanon. If you look exactly where that's at, that's in ancient Sumeria. That's an ancient Sumor. That's where this language came from, around the Garden of Eden. Now you see where they summoned that. Now what happened when they touch down and what they teach in this area, and then we're gonna go through the language tree, the Semitic language tree, and it's gonna end up to this very language that we call English and speaking now, and we speaking these same enchantments and we speaking these same spells on each other every single day. We gotta watch what we saying. Come on, bro.
And they called it Mount Hermon, for they swore and bound one another by curse. And their names are as follows: Samias, the leader of Eric, Ramiel, Tamiel, Ramiel.
They all got
Daniel.
Hebrew names.
Yeah, they all got right. They all got Hebrew names. Barak Wael. They got the Elohim at the end. Azael. Yeah. Yeah.
You can curse with the Hebrew as well.
Yep, you can curse, you can bless or curse with that tongue. What we just read in James 3. We got to remember, Hebrew, you were actually the prince, you were Israelite, a prince of the power. You using the power to do negative with and to kill with and destroy with, which is what Satan is the one looking for people to devour, to kill, and destroy. You doing these same things with your words, meaning you are working and serving the Satan. Huh? Now you see that Mount Hermon is smack dead in the middle of Sumeria. This is where they actually summoned themselves at. It's going down over there in Iraq. Why you think there's wars out there to them day? And look, they still speaking ancient dialects out there. Look it up. Just Google it. It's all articles popping up. It's so many different languages that's going on in Iraq right now that they call the same language, it's different dialects. Come on, bro.
Hey, tell them I'm going to post on the comment board that Mount Hermon, Holy Lands, Mount Hermon, United Nations base built to deliver the Antichrist. All
right, so look, Maccabee finna post some stuff on Mount Hermon on the comment board, how they got secret military bases on top of that very mountain we talking about that the angels summoned themselves down on right now. Like it's literally going down right here. And how is it that this is where language coming from? And this is the same language we speaking. We just speaking it backwards to each other. Right. Come on now. Like all of this stuff is intricately connected. Come on, bro.
It said these are the chiefs of tens and of all the others with them.
Come on.
Chapter 7, verse 1. And they took wives into themselves, and everyone respectively chose a woman for himself.
You see that respectively, right. Meaning they straight checked them out. Like, hold on. Nah, that body don't look good enough. You going out here. They actually down here lusting after these women like that. Right. See, now you see the diabolical plot that they had on mankind in the first place. Satan wanted to rule above the star constellations, right? See, but these watchers, they wanted to rule on earth. They wanted what Adam had. They wanted to be in position to earth. They seen Adam fail, so they looked at it as they looked at it as their chance to get in where they fit in. So they came down, they slept with the daughters of man. They had these giants, right? After they had these giants, they made mankind slaves and servants of them. We was building all type of architectural sculptures for them, building them big old chairs like they ran earth. So you see what, like their whole thing was to put Israel, the Israelites, as we know it till this day, by ancestors in slavery. And one of the main things they taught us was a way of speaking. If they speak death, we're going to keep them in this death continual trap. This trap, and they can never get up out of it.
Like a psychological mindset.
Man, like a straight psychological maze that ain't no outway to it.
Right.
Come on, Ken.
All right, verse.
It's like Maze Runner.
Yeah. Hey, that's the movie. Hey, that's the movie Maze Runner. That's the movie.
It says, and they taught them magical medicine.
So look, these angels taught magical medicine. What is magical medicine, y'all? If you go to Walgreens and you look at the logo on the Walgreens, it's a witch's brew pot with a broom stem in it. That's what witches do when they formulating their rituals. And guess what they use to make rituals? The first thing they have to have. I have a Gomorrah book. I have a Gomorrah book. If you look at it, one of the main ingredients they have to have is plants and roots. Plants and roots. So what they doing is sorcery. It's called pharmaceutical. This is actually what medicine is. It's actually a form of witchcraft. It's a ritual that puts you in a different mind state. So they call it medical medicine. Come on.
The cutting of roots.
The cutting of roots. You know where you get botany from, herbs and all of that. It's a negative side too. And they teaching them the negative side of herbs. Right. The negative side. Right. Come on.
And taught them about plants.
They taught them about plants, botany, holistic health, herbs. I'm an herbalist, certified. On the positive side, though, not on the negative side. Come on.
And the women became pregnant and gave birth to great giants whose heights were 100 cubit. These giants consumed the produce of all people until the people destined feeding them.
You see that? So the giants, once they gave birth to these giants, the giants started eating all the food they grown. Y'all know we was forming, man. Now look, this lets you know, ancient Sumeria was one of the most thriving civilizations. Everything grew abundantly out there. These giants up here eating up the whole crop fields. They eating up everything in Sumeria. So the people stopped feeding them. They're like, look, you big Negroes can't eat no more. Check out what these giants gonna do.
So the giants turned against the people in order to eat them.
See, so they started eating the humans.
Right.
They started eating their mothers and their brothers and sisters. This letting you know that they weren't supposed to come down and mate with the women that had these abominable things anyway. Come on. And look, and think about it though. Think about David and Goliath. Goliath the Amorite, the giant. Who is he from? Or King Og. What was King Og? Like that bloodline was still in the earth. Come on.
Bro, also, if I can say
Go ahead,
something,
bro.
also tell them to trip off the secret missions to Antarctica to pass. Man, shit, they've been doing Antarctica trips past 17
I got that down here.
Okay,
I got the Antarctica down
Why the
here.
hell is if you look at the population of Antarctica, it say like 5,000 researchers.
Yeah.
Right.
What the hell are they researching?
Yeah.
in
Don't
Antarctica?
fall in angels.
Book. Straight up.
And then if you look back like into the mid 1800s, you look at any maps back in the mid 1800s.
Now speak up a little loud if I can hear you.
If you look up, if you trip off any maps of Antarctica going back to like the 1800s, right? It's all vegetation. It's not ice.
Yeah.
Right. So what the hell done happened within 200-300 years?
Hey,
The word,
Scripture.
you know what I'm saying? Like why is Antarctica ice now? But all the maps 200-300 years ago show it vegetation. You feel me? All green type shit. Why is the population only researchers?
Yeah.
Right.
And and all the government officials getting some of there. That's what them fallen angels at.
Yeah, like all the heads of state going there. Barack Obama, when he was president, he had to go to Antarctica.
Most
What the
definitely.
hell going on?
Come on, hey, bro.
This is the name.
Mm-hmm.
It says, and they began to sin against birds, wild beasts, reptiles, and fish, and their flesh will devour the one by other. And
you see that? So they eating birds, they eating fish, they eating everything. After they ate all the vegetation out of the earth, then they started eating all the animals, and they turned to start eating their mothers and sisters and brothers. So obviously these are abominable things. So angels ain't supposed to be laying down with humans having babies. They create monsters, obviously. Now peep out what they taught the women and what they taught the men, though, and it's gonna go right back to this lessons, the Matrix. What we talking about, this spell that we under, and then we're gonna link it to Deuteronomy 28 to show y'all like all this thing was already prophesied before he created all things. We dealing with a most high power that see the end from the beginning and the beginning from the end. So all of these things link up somehow, some way. Come on, Hebrew.
It says, and they drank blood.
And they what?
Drank blood.
Now, there's another mark. They drank blood. So hold on. Not only they swarming oath and binding their souls, now they drinking blood. They using magical medicine. This sound like warlocks to me. This sound like witchery to me. This sound like grand wizards to me.
Also, too, y'all, just say something real quick too. Netflix had a new series out called Altered Carbon.
Yeah.
Altered Carbon, in which they say the Most High is dead. You know what I'm saying? They aiming to live forever. And then there's a resistance like us fighting against these heathens.
Altered Carbon.
My bro been talking about the carbon. You're melanin in the carbon.
How long I've been talking about carbon, family?
Which y'all made of or whatever. Now, look, I watched Netflix the other day. You know how the trailers come through on Netflix?
Right.
Man, I'm laying back like this chilling, right? That motherfucker said Altered Carbon. Oh, I said, I'm like, damn. Let me cut all this evil.
Now they call you like, bro.
Yeah, bro, I end up sharing it in the chat box.
Altered Carbon.
Man, bro, I never heard nothing about it till Molly called me.
I
Like,
called
bro,
the group, right? It aired yesterday on Netflix.
I'm going to watch it. So
That's
they
what
get back
they're
out.
really doing. They really exhibited that at the CES convention.
Yeah, bro, the God particle, bro. I
They
mean,
really had bodies.
Yeah.
told y'all family, I've been talking about
the
carbon for 2 years now. They finally starting to come out with stuff talking about what we've been saying. I just finished my travel, the whole series.
Hey, I got finished the second season though.
Yeah.
Don't
I'm
tell
in
me about the
the
second.
second season.
I just finished two. Yeah, me too.
Hey, family, make sure y'all watch Altered Carbon and Travelers. I just finished the whole series of Travelers, man. That is a man. And look, it's the stuff that I've been teaching on for the last 2 years, y'all. And they finally starting to come out with this stuff. They let you know the Most High word do not never come back void. Like we've been getting this out of scriptures way before they talking about this, and we done got this out of scriptures, family. Come on, let's finish this up.
It says, and then the earth brought an accusation against the oppressors.
Whew, you see that in the earth brought an accusation against the oppressors. Come on.
Chapter 8, verse 1. And Aziel taught the people the art of making swords.
So Aziel taught war. Now, how did he know about war? Because it was war in the heavens. So he taught them the art of making swords out of precious metals, alchemy, and iron. And look, it scientifically proven gold has not always been in earth. Gold have not always been in Earth. Gold came from different galaxies. So who brought that? Who brought these precious metals? Who came when they fell? Who came down here with all these precious metals? Who stole from the king? Who stole from the kingdom of God and brought these precious metals to Earth? Let's talk about that. Like, it's so much stuff when you start really researching on, you like, man, I've been getting lied to, and I've been reading this Bible completely wrong.
Right.
Come on.
Swords and knives and shields and breastplates. And he showed to their chosen ones bracelets, decorations.
You see that? Bracelets, decorations, ornaments to their chosen ones, to their women. He showed them decorations, how to put ornaments all in their heads and around about their ankles and bracelets on, how to beautify their eyelids. All this is an art of seduction, which is another art of war. What's the best way to tear down a city? Bring a beautiful woman up through there. Get them all drunk, let them all do their thing when they go to sleep. Let's come in and hit everybody's head. It's an art of war. Seduction is an art of war, especially if it ain't your woman. Come on now, we got to start thinking her. Come on.
Shadowing of the eye with anatomy.
Whew. That says ornamentation.
Ornamentation.
That's talking about the ornaments. If y'all read Isaiah chapter 3, run that whole 3 down, it talks about the whole thing about the ornamentation, the tinkling of the bells of the horns, the nose rings, the buckles, they round about tires like the moons, the bonnets, the hoods, the veils, and all of that. So y'all can read that for that one. Come on.
It said the beautifying of the eyelids, all kinds of precious stones, and all coloring tinctures and alchemy.
Come on, and what?
And alchemy.
That's talking about precious metals, the periodic table, mixing metals to make different types of silvers and golds and platinum. This is all a form of sorcery if your intentions are wicked while you're doing it. Because platinum, all these precious metals is what make up our actual atmosphere. And you are made of these. Your body consists of gold, zinc, copper, and iron. Iron is what transmits oxygen through your blood. You see that? Gold is what transmits certain types of neuromelanin to your liver. Zinc is what transmits certain type of falcoids and certain types of electric pulses to your heart.
Sound like the Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah, just like the Ark of the Covenant.
Sound like the Ark of the Covenant.
So we need all these precious metals to survive. And that's what's wrong with the white man. They lack these precious metals. Come on.
It says, and there were many wicked ones, and they committed adultery and erred, and all their conduct became corrupt.
Come on.
As Mariah taught inclinations.
You see that now? This is the part I was trying to get to. As Mariah taught inclinations. Inclinations means enchantment. And this comes from, they call this, they say it comes from the Egyptian god called Thoth. Thoth. Peep that. And if you flip it, it's the same word. It's called mirror magic. Thoth. Look him up. It's the Egyptian gods that was created by the Phoenicians. And he said that he had a quote said that he wanted to create magic spells with the intent to create evil divinities. Talk.
It sounds like women call each other thoughts.
Yeah, they call each other thoughts. Right. And they call each other thoughts. Right. So look that up, y'all. Thoughts. Come on.
It says in cutting of woods.
And what?
The cutting of woods. And Amorites, the resolving of inclinations. So first he taught how to make these magical spells through the language, and then he taught that if they once he cast a spell, he taught them how to reverse it and stop it, showing you that magic and spell casting is real.
That's right.
It's real.
That's right.
And they have you under a spell. And we finna talk about this shipping system. Once we done with this, we're gonna get straight to it. Come on, Hebrew.
And Barachiel, astrology.
Now look, we always been in the situation room. That's one thing we always hit on is astrology, because y'all are very fascinated with it. I said, what? We don't believe in astrology. That's what the angels taught. But we do believe in astrophysics and the positioning of the celestial bodies. These is what bring what our feast days in, the times and seasons. This is how we knew when Christ was born. This is how Abraham knew that he was chosen, the promises. So yes, we believe, we understand that the sun and the moon actually have a very, very, very profound way of our emotions and the way we think and live. We get that, but we don't bow down to no sun god. I'm not getting on my knees and worshiping the sun nor the moon. They was created for us. Genesis talk about they was created for us, to serve us. We have to understand that. Come on, Hebrew.
And Cocriel, the knowledge of the signs. And Tomiel taught the scene of the stars. Azrael taught the course of the moon, as well as the deception of man. Ooh. And the people cried, their voice reached into the heavens.
All right, so that's it for that. We're finna get back in the scripture, y'all. Let's get back on this Phoenicians. Phoenicians, they call the phonics Phoenician. This is where you get the word phone from. Phone actually comes from Phoenicians or phonics. Have y'all ever heard of hooked on phonics? This comes from the ancient land of Samaria. Phoenicians, phone, Phoenicians. All this come back to these ancient civilizations. All of this. You cannot look. This is what I'm saying. It ain't no way around this Bible. You always gonna end up back in the scripture, regardless. You always gonna end up back to it. And this is where you get the word phoenix from. The phoenix. That's why the phoenix is all up on a dollar bill. That's why the phoenix. Yes, the renewing. Yes. All right, so we're gonna get to it. So we talking about put. Now, put, the land of put in the English word, in the English word put is the same thing as Phoenicians and Egyptians and sorcery and witchcraft. It's all the same thing. We hit Genesis 6 to show that the giants came down. We went into Enoch to show that they taught us this language. Now we finna go to Genesis 11 and see where this language got dispersed from. So we're gonna go to Genesis 11, 1 through 7. Genesis 11, 1 through 7, family.
Genesis chapter 11, verse 1. And the whole earth was of the one language.
So it says, and the whole earth was on one language, Akkad. Akkad means one, unified, right? The Akkadian. Now you see why it's talking like that. And if you actually get into scripture, you look up the word Akkad, it's going to tell you it was a place in ancient Mesopotamia, in Sumeria, right? And then we get into words called Tarish, the Tarishans. It shows you that they was the phony phonetics Phoenicians, and you start actually looking up these words and stuff. You're like, man, we straight still speaking this. At first, they put us on ships. Now we is the cargo on the ships, and we still doing this same thing. It's all about commerce, banking, and shipments. Check this out. Banks. Why do they call it banks? Because banks are by rivers. That's why they call it a river bank. What flows inside of a river bank? Water. Water is water flow. That's where you get the word cash flow from. When you go to the bank, you get cash flow, right? So then they got something called currency. Currency is change. A current is the way water moves when wind hits inside of the ocean. And I'm gonna just give y'all a little bit until we actually get into this Isaiah 23.
If you think about it, that's why they got all the boats.
Yeah, don't kill it. We gonna get to it. Don't spoil it now, brother. I'm gonna let you. Yeah. Look, Uriel already out.
Genesis chapter 11 again. And the whole earth was on one language and of one speech. And it came to pass as they journeyed from the east that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. Verse 3. And they said one to another, go to, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar.
Come on.
And they said, go to, let us build us a city in tower, whose top may reach into the heavens.
So you see, them with this one language, it was the Kyle language, they trying to build towers to go in the heavens and make war with God, because they didn't believe him when he told Noah that he wasn't going to destroy the earth with water no more. They're like, look, we're going to take it upon ourselves to build us a high rocket ship. You see what I'm saying? We're going to get up out of here. We're going to go make war with God. We're going to take this into our own hands. But notice they did this through what? They phony language, that Phoenician language. Come on.
Lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the earth. Verse 5. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower, which the children of men built. And the Lord said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this they began to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do.
Now we can stop there, right? Yeah, that's a thought. They imagine thought forms, and their language have brought them to do negative things, right? Have brought them to do negative things through their thinking and speaking. So look, we can stop there right here. Let's get Isaiah 23. Now it's time to get to business. This is what I didn't get to class, and after that, we got a few questions to answer for a couple people asked me, and then we'll get up out of here. So we in Isaiah 23. Make sure y'all listen up, family, because we gotta run this. Start at 1, Hebrew.
Isaiah chapter 23, verse 1. The burden of Tyre, how ye ships of Tyre.
Of who?
Tarshish. For it is laid waste, so that there is no house.
So he's talking about shipments and how he's going to bring down this ancient civilization of people because what they're doing, right? Come on.
No entering in. From the land of Chittim, it is revealed to them.
So now all of this stuff is in ancient Mesopotamia. What happened is ancient Mesopotamia had a transport shipment where they had boats coming in and out giving cargo, but they needed people to work for them. So what they did was they put people under this spell that they learned from the fallen angels, and they put them inside this continual matrix to get certain type of work done for them, so they can get transportations in and out of this naval or this naval, which was the belly button, then navy. All these stuff is, look, we are at sea. We're at sea, and they call us seamen, meaning we're men at sea. But seamen also means semen, which comes out from ejaculation. You see what I'm saying? And then they call the body the vessel. They call ships a what? Vessel. And it goes through the canal. They call the woman's vagina the birth what? Canal. We are actually being shipped. We are cargo, and we don't even know it because we are stuck in this ancient Phoenician phonics phony language, which is a spell. That's why you get up and you go work your persecution, your job. That's why you say good morning, but you can't say good morning. You can't mourn unless you at a wake or you awake. See what I'm saying? And you earn a living. Earn is for the ashes of the dead. Just to work a weekdays. You're in a weekdays, meaning you're groping in noonday. Just to get off and be weekend on a weekend. All this is death culture. This is death talk that we put and oppress ourselves with every day, and you don't even know it because you don't study nothing. Y'all need to start studying, family. Come on, bro.
Verse 2, be still, ye inhabitants of isles.
So now it's talking about the Gentiles that's in the isles. So it's saying being still. So what happened is he's bringing burden on Tyree. He's going to shut down their whole shipping port, their whole commerce, right? Yeah. The reason why he's shutting it down because they've been doing evil against us. We have became the commerce. We have became the merchandise. We're going to read it. This is a mirror image of Revelation 17 and 18. But this really happened then. This is a twofold prophecy. Right. Come on.
It said, thou whom the merchants of Zion, hold on, let me make sure I said that. Zidon that pass over the sea have replenished, and by great waters, the seas of Sihor, the harvest of the river is her revenue.
So as you see that, so it's talking about the river is the revenue, right. The river. And look, this part of Mesopotamia wouldn't even been popping if it wasn't for the Assyrians. The Assyrians is what brought all the product in. But see, if you peep, he called them Tarish, the Tarish or Tarshish. Now, if you look up this word, it's the Hebrew concordance H8659. Peep what it says. It says yellow jasper. That's what his name after, the son of Javan. But look, if you keep going down, it says as a region or a stone or reverse. Tarish, a place of the Mediterranean. Hence, it says a merchant, a vessel. Right. It's a port. And in the name of Persian and Israelite. If you actually look at where it's at, it says a city of what? Of the Phoenicians. A city of the Phoenicians. So we see the Phoenicians had altered this language to keep us in this mind state, to keep this ship stuff going. That's why you always at ship. That's why when you at court, you have to get a court docket. Right. Why you gotta get a dock? You dock your boat. You dock your boat. Why you gotta get a docket? You see what I'm saying? Why, when you're born, you have to get a birth certificate. Like birth certificate is, look, they spell it BERTH. That's for the actual shipments, but then the doctors spell yours BIRTH. But it's still a birth certificate. We've been used as cargo. Tomato. We've been used as cargo. We are actually slaves been used as merchandise. Yeah. And they sending us back and forth on slave ships. That's why you get terminology like that. That's why you have to have a bank routing number as your social security. Bank, a river bank. You are the currency. You are the energy. They using your energy to make money. They print fake dollars and they look, they moving numbers around. They can make any number they want. They have you chasing a fake dollar bill that don't mean nothing. Ain't no gold or nothing in Fort Knox. Ain't been there for a while. You is under a spell, a illusion. And we have to break the chains of bondage on our minds to realize that. Like, why is you working so hard for these people? They keeping you down. They keeping you in this illusion. And we don't even know it. And we just speaking the language like it's secondhand. You don't even know what you're talking about. Sure. Come on, Hebrew. And where we at? Mally, you gonna read? Yeah, go ahead, bro. We at 23 verse 9.
Isaiah 23.
Yeah, Isaiah 23.
The book of Isaiah 23 and 9. The Most High of hosts had purposed it to stain the pride of all glory and to bring into contempt all the honorable of the earth.
You see that? So the Most High come to bring down the kings, the honorable, to bring in contempt. Just like the Most High glorified Son is gonna come striking through kings. Come on.
Pass, verse 10. Pass through thy land as a river, O daughter of Tarshish. There is no more strength.
Now we just look up Tarshish. Tarshish is a city in Phoenicia. So he's talking to the Phoenicians. Now look, if you actually go to the timeline, Phoenicians had got the last time they got defeated was by Rome. When Rome defeated them, Rome and the Grecians defeated them, they took this same language and then they brought it back to the Americas. So we speak in this same language. It's always developed from this Phoenician language, this Phoenician phonic language. Just look this stuff up, y'all. It'll blow your mind. You are not speaking English. There's no such thing as an English language. Come on, Hebrew.
He stretched out his hand over the sea.
Whew.
He shook the kingdom.
He what?
He shook the kingdom.
So he stopped all that transportation. Same thing he gonna do in Revelation 17 and 18. In Babylon, when he shut down Babylon, it's the same way he shut down ancient Babylon. He stopped. The first thing you do is hit the seas. You hit the seas, ain't nothing moving. All your money gone. Now, if you stop the seas, that means you stopping what? You stopping slave trafficking too, because we are the merchandise, family. But we don't know we the merchandise because we stuck in this illusion. The Matrix. Come on, Hebrew.
The Most High has given a commandment against the merchant city.
Whew.
To destroy the strongholds thereof.
You see that? So we is in this illusion, but we see that the Most High brought them out of the illusion there. So now in this twofold prophecy, when we start getting into Revelation 17 and 18, he gonna bring his youngins out of that too. We coming out of the same thing. But first thing he do, he gotta hit. He hit the seas all the time, because when you hit the seas, can't nothing move. Nothing move. When you hit the seas, nothing move. Who hitting seas though? That's how you know it's a mighty God. Who's stopping transportation by ships? Who's stopping naval ships though? It's the Most High God. And when you stop that, you stop communication and you stop languages. That's why when you get in there to Revelation 17 and 18, once he hit the ships, it said they was crying for Babylon. Like, oh my God, I can't get rich no more. I can't sell and trade niggas no more. The language stopped, everything stopping. You see that? So the whole time, y'all are seamen at sea. And seaman and man is on the sea, and actually seaman that's ejaculated from the man's penis is the same thing. That's why everything you do, they use in shipment, birth ships, tag you. They have to have a license. You have to have a birth certificate. You have to have a routing number and a banking number, which is a birth certificate and a social security card. You have to go to sleep in a wake. And when you wake up, you have to mourn. And when you mourn, you have to go to work, which is a job, persecution, to earn a living. Earn is for the ashes of the dead. Only to work a weekdays while you're in a weekdays. To get off on the weekend to be weekend. Like, this is a spell, y'all. Do y'all see what type of demonic spell is going on there? And then you'll wake up and be like, good morning. And now I'm not saying good morning is bad, because when you get into it, he called Christ the bright morning star. We get that. So being morning is not a bad thing. But when you start looking at it from the actual intensity that they put on you, man, it's something crazy. And we need to start waking up and researching and realizing what's really going on and lift the veils from our eyes. Come on, Hebrew.
Verse 12, and he said, thou shalt not no more rejoice, O thou oppressed virgin, daughter of Zidon, arise, pass over to Chittim. There also shall have no rest.
Whew.
Behold, the land of Chaldeans, this people was not, till the Assyrians founded it.
Did I just say that? So look, this people was not until the Assyrians founded it. They founded it. They basically gave it a promotion. They're like, look, y'all got all the lands and stuff, but y'all ain't shipping no goods. See, the problem is in merchants, see, the problem is when it comes to this, look, the greatest commodity, the greatest treasure ever always been Negroes. Always been. They've been shipping Negroes since the beginning of time. Yeah, have y'all not realized we've been in slavery under every nation in the Bible? We've been in slavery under every nation in the Bible. They've been selling and trading us. And they've been keeping us under this ancient systematic voodoo language, keeping us trapped. But we ain't, look, so once we get the language straight, we still got other things to worry about. You see what I'm saying? So it's not just this. It's just a start, family. Yeah. Let's start speaking righteousness into each other instead of speaking bad into one another. That we already been taught a witchcraft language. Why use it to do what the purpose that they created it for? Let's start speaking life into one another. Let's start freeing each other's mindset. I'm supposed to be able to look at you and see Christ. Ain't that the whole reason why we're here? Right? Isn't we just spiritual beings having a human experience? Isn't we just Hebrews traveling, passing through? Prince of the power, connected straight to the source. So why are we using this tongue as a way to kill when we can use it to heal and make alive? Why is we using this tongue to bring people down instead of to build people up? Huh? This is supposed to be a gravitational field to move people into the kingdom, not to push them away. You use your tongue as a stumbling block. A stumbling block. 1 minute you speak about God, the next minute a brother hears some awful things come off your mouth. They be like, hold on, what did you? Oh, no, I don't even want to get down with them. I can't rock with no camp like that. You done became a stumbling block because you can't even watch your mouth. You see what I'm saying? But you call yourself a grown man. Childs can't control what come out the mouth, what come out their mouths. Child, that's a children's stuff. You a babe. You got to be able to control your tongue. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. You were created in the image and likeness of God. Man, you have power to speak and create things into existence. And you just using it willy-nilly with it? You just out here willy-nilly with your tongue? How many words you speak a day? The average Negro speak over. Boy, look, let's check this out. Check this out. How many words does the average human being say a day?
That's right, young gun. Get on the ass.
Boy, 20,000. 20,000, man. What are you talking about, man?
You know,
What are you?
Majority of them ain't right.
Ain't righteous.
19,000
Ain't righteous. That's a lot of words. It probably ain't a quarter of these righteous, man. Come on, man. And look, it says only 7,000 of these are words for men. You women talk too much. Only 7,000. 20,000 and only 7,000 of them are men words.
We do that.
Right.
Got your old lady. You already know that.
I ain't trying to get on y'all head.
We love y'all too.
Don't be on the comment board talking stuff.
Love y'all too.
Come on, Hebrew.
All right, 13 again. Behold, the land of Chaldeans, this people was not till the Assyrians founded it for them that dwell in the wilderness. They set up the towers thereof. They raised up the places, the palaces thereof, and brought it to the ruin.
All right, look, we can stop there right there. So y'all got the gist. Let's go and hit this precept. This is a twofold prophecy. We're going to get Revelation 17. But before we get into that, let's get into this. So we have to talk about a bank account. As I said, banks. Banks are in the river, a river bank. So that's where riverbank come from. River banks come from currency. Currency is the flow of water and energy. You are made out of pure energy. So you are the currency. You are the money. There is no money in banks. There's only paper. You are the money. You making money when you touch it and you hand it to somebody else. And look, let's keep it 100. You ain't doing them but passing out debt because you are the money. That's why the greatest riches is the ones who control and sell slaves. If you can control somebody's words, you can control their thinking. If you can control their thinking, you can control their vessel. And if you can control their vessel, you have money. Because we are the hot commodity. We are the ones that, look, we are the hot commodity here. We are the precious stones. We are the precious aluminum and metal. All these things our bodies produce naturally. It didn't have to get sent here from the heavens. We got it. We was created with us. So if you can sell 1,000 Negroes, you was a rich man. See, y'all think they still selling alcohol and all of that. Behind all the alcohol, behind the sugar and all the wheat, if you lift up all them bags on them ships, it's probably hundreds of niggas under there. Let's keep it 1,000. The Most High knew that, and that's why he spoke on it. But they keeping us in this mind state, and they doing it through our language. Like, remember, we are in a matrix, man. We're in a cage. It's time to start thinking outside the box instead of, and look, the crazy thing is we created the box. They learned the wickedness from Negroes. We just read it. It said that white man would not even be able to fathom domination over any culture if they didn't look at how the Assyrians did their own people. So where was wickedness taught from? Who taught wickedness? It came from black men, melanated beings.
It's in Jeremiah. You've taught the wicked ones your way.
You see that?
It's Jeremiah chapter 2 and chapter 3.
See that?
Yeah.
Come on, Hebrew. So look, so we got so look, now check this out. So currency, then you get the flow of the water and energy, then you have liquid access, right? Yeah. And then you have frozen accounts. and then you can go and get cash flow. All this has something to do with water. And then you have to get a docket, and then they call something called citizenship. You have, in order to go into different countries, you have to have a citizenship. A citizen is a city or corporation. Corporation breaks down to corpse, which means the dead. So the dead have to have a ship. And in order to have a citizenship, you have to have a citizenship and a card to get a mortgage. Mortgage is where the deads be at a morgue.
That's how the same shit go down in the courtroom.
Yeah, exactly.
She lost the same thing.
You see what I'm saying? Then look, they call it the mothership. It have to have a mother. Then they have to have a navel. And then all this go into it. And then as soon as the baby is born, what they do is they take a piece of paper, they give it a social security number or a banking account and routing number, and they take the soul of the baby and they print the soul on a piece of paper. Y'all, and then the parents, pair means pair that rents. Parents are a pair that rents out their children to the devil. And you sell this soul. You print his whole soul of his feet on a piece of paper, and next thing you know, he's merchant now. We can move him. We can ship him and move him. We can ship him and move him. You see what I'm saying?
All those ships got 9 digits on them too, like the social security.
You see that? Just like dot numbers.
Yeah.
More dot numbers.
When a ship comes into its dock, it's called coming into its berth.
You see that? And look, I told y'all, and it's a different birth. B is B-E-R-T. And they have to have a birth certificate to even dock.
9 digits.
9 digits. They have to have that. Same way that you have to have a birth certificate to be existent inside of this Babylonian mindset. Do you see the illusion and the spell that's been cast upon us? Through our speak, through our language. And we speak in this very language to down one another when we need to be uplifting one another and figuring out how to get out this system. And we know that you can't get out without a Mashiach Yahushua, but hey, we can get it started though. He said kindle the fire, right? We just around playing with sticks and shit. We supposed to be kindling the fire. We playing with sticks. Come on. We're gonna start Revelation 17. We do 17 and 18. We got a couple of questions to answer from some Hebrews. Y'all been filling the inbox up. So hey, all praise. Y'all been filling up with y'all questions. So we're gonna try to tackle them, you know what I'm saying, at least 3 of them every week. But I just talked to the bro. We're gonna try to do this more times out of the week though. So we'll try. Come on.
Revelation 17, verse 18. And the woman which thou sawest is the great city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth.
No, Revelation 17 started at 1.
Oh, bro, you said verse 18.
Oh, my bad, brother. I'm thinking because we read Revelation 17 and 18.
I'm like, that's it, bro.
Then we'll end it with that. We're gonna end it with Zephaniah 3 and 9.
All right. Revelations chapter 17, verse 1. Well, there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither. I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the king of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication.
You see that? So the inhabitants of the earth have been drunk off her cup. And a part of this cup was our language. Like we've been drunk. And when you drunk, you in a daze. Drunk people ain't alert. You're not sober. And we drunk off language. We drunk off all the stuff that's going on. You see so many gays and fags and homophobics going around. Like we was talking about in class earlier today, and Yak Eli spoke about that little girl that was caught on camera. This man is forcing her to do some abominable things and made the Most High kill that Negro. For real. Made the Most High kill him for that.
After that,
you know what I'm saying? Making a 6-year-old girl do some nasty, perverted things like that to him. So we see that everybody have drunk of this wine. Look, think about who is supplying the weapons everywhere. Who's supplying weapons? Huh? What about the gun runners? Libya. What about Hillary Clinton? Let's when you really talk about this spell is so deep upon our people. We worried about chicken and fries, and they gun running from America to Libya right now. Libya is now the same place that they was gun running into Lebanon and Libya. Now it's slaves. Do you know they done got slavery back popping in Libya? Huh? They blowing their brains out over there, setting them on fire, selling them for $400. They've been doing it. Now they just showing you all out. We've been under this spell. They selling our people for $400 out in the open. It ain't like they just started back. It's been back. It ain't never stopped. Like when the Most High said he gonna curse us from the 4 corners, he wasn't lying. Like we trying to get away. What Daniel called it, salvation location. Ain't no such thing. Right. We is under this illusion until the Messiah come and lift this veil from above of us. But look, he ain't gonna help us unless we help ourselves, family. So look, why not start with your fallen tongue? Start working on that member that's in your mouth. Come on, Hebrew.
Verse 2, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication.
Ooh, come on.
So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones.
So when it get into these 7 hands and 10 horns, it's talking about nations.
Right.
Nations of people, all the nations that's founded. And when you get into these nations, it actually traces you back to the United Nations, which is the wickedest of them all. All these nations getting together, trying to form one world order and one world government, which the Most High gonna bring it down, just like he brought down the Tarshish and them, just like he brought down the Babylonians. The same way he coming to bring this stuff back down. And the first thing he gonna do is hit that water. And when you hit the water, you hit the merchants. When you hit the merchants, you hit that language. We gonna see the veil drop quick. And then he gonna restore a new language. We gonna see this whole illusion drop. When the Messiah touched down, we gonna see that. We gonna be like, we've been seeing through some messed up eyes here. This what this really look like? Remember, we only seeing things through our sense and every senses. Imagine what this world really look like with that all-seeing eye, that third eye, that pineal gland. We need to awaken that and really start looking with our third eye. This is an illusion. Right, it's messed up out here. This ain't all fine and dandy. You Negroes getting too comfortable. Y'all too comfortable out here. Come on, Hebrew.
Verse 4 again.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abomination and filthiness of her fornication.
Ooh, come on.
And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon, the great mother.
You hear that? Mystery Babylon. It ain't called a flat out Babylon, which we've been reading in here. Babylon of Timbuktu. We know who this whore is. You know, technically we came from her. Right. Abraham came from the land of Chaldees, ancient Mesopotamia, right? Ancient Sumer, Babylon. Now it's talking about Mystery Babylon, which is the Americas till this day and the whole system that drink with her. Babylon ain't just subjected to America. It's everybody that have part in dealing with her. And she coming down too. She coming down too. Come on, Hebrew.
Mystery Babylon, the great mother of harlots and abomination of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. And I saw her and wondered with great admiration.
You see that? So our blood is on our hands. Not only do they have us trapped under this spell, this illusion, this language, our blood is on their hand. Right. Wardy P said, if y'all scared, hide under y'all beds.
Wardy P, shout out to Memphis. Yeah, he grew out of Memphis.
You're right, Hebrew. He said, we locked in the matrix. It says wherever everyone wants you dead. Yeah, y'all look, y'all are right on point on the comment board, family. Like we are straight under an illusion, man. We trapped, but we have to see beyond the veil, man. And that's the reason why we're here.
Hey, look, you keep saying veil, right? Isaiah 25, y'all can get a chance, 7 through 9.
Yeah, talk about that veil.
The Most High destroying that veil that's cast over all the people.
Matter of fact, we're gonna hit that soon we done with this. You sure right. Let's hit that real quick. All praises, big brother. Look, let's hit that real quick.
Because you keep talking about that veil.
That veil.
There's a veil or matrix cast over all the people. And the Most High talking about destroying it.
That's it.
And then once that's away, people will be like, look, this is
I see it for what it is.
This is our God right here.
Then let's get to that veil that Maccabee was just talking about her. And most definitely, that was very potent. Hallelujah. Let's get to that.
Really quick.
Hey, look, we just went off. Call them off. We hold our spots in that Revelations. We coming back.
Jeremiah 25.
79. Isaiah 25.
Did Jeremiah?
Isaiah.
You said
Isaiah.
Oh, Isaiah 25. I apologize, fam.
79.
Isaiah 25.
79. That's about the covering veil that the Most High is going to destroy so that we can see clearly.
Yeah.
Excellent session, brother.
All praise.
Yeah.
Isaiah chapter 25, verse 7. And he will destroy in the mountain the face of the covering cast over all the people. And the veil that is spread over all nations.
Dude, you see that? So when he come back, he lifting the veil. So everybody gonna be able to see exactly what it is. So this whole illusion, this language system, you ain't gonna be caught up in nothing. You're gonna see everything for exactly what it is. And look, this means I have a book, y'all, that calls The Serpent Grail. and it talk about behind. It's called the serpent's grill, behind the mask something of Illuminati, and they talk about how they hide behind their symbolism and how they controlling the whole earth. So when Christ come back, all that's gonna be lifted. Like, that's what you wicked bastards been doing the whole time. You're gonna be able to see the mechanism of this deceitful, wicked nation.
Right now, they're trying to what's that word? Like
depopulation.
No. What they're trying to do, they're trying to censor people conscious, man. So that's why they put like that Bell Illuminati Taco Bell commercial.
And notice they flash red at you all the time.
But the thing is this, they're putting it out there to where it makes it seem like it's all fake. You know what I'm saying? So they trying to sensitize people conscious.
Yeah, so the Most High finna expose these bastards. And he gonna lift that veil, and you gonna see things for what it really is. Right. That's when that pineal gland gonna be forced open. He gonna force it open. You're like, oh my God, this is what I've been. Yes, that apple that look good is full of maggots. That's right. You really eat maggots. Right. See, the illusion, it looks like it's a red apple, and it was growing from the best tree all ever. But in the actuality with the third eye, you holding a ball full of maggot and worms, and you comfortable with that. Right. You comfortable with that. But remember, it's a veil, it's a matrix. You in an illusion. Quit getting comfortable in the illusion, because illusions, look, one thing illusions do is change, because nothing constant but what? Change. So illusions is constantly changing. And like Molly was saying last week in class, if you slow down and meditate enough, you'll start seeing glitches in the matrix. You'll see a whole glitch. You'll walk past, it'll be 5:15, and walk past again, it'll be 5:15 again. You're like, hold on, what? What did I just see?
We just talked about that.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all better watch out. Come on, Hebrew.
And people walk by the street.
Come on, Hebrew.
Verse 8, he will swallow up death and victory, and the Lord God will wipe away tears from all faces.
It's going to be a beautiful day. Come on, Hebrew.
It says, in the rebuke of his people shall he take away from off all the earth.
All praises. All praises. Read that one more time.
Verse 8 again, he will swallow up death and victory, and the Lord God will wipe away tears from off all faces, and rebuke of his people shall he take away from off the earth. For the Lord has spoken.
Come on.
Verse 9, and it shall be said in that day, lo, this is our God. We have waited for him. He will save us. This is the Lord. We have waited for him. We will be glad and rejoice in his salvation.
So we need that. We need that. Look, and now we already know that faith come with patience, and patience come, they entwine. So when you waiting for a reason. But when he wait, he don't say sit down and twiddle your thumbs, though. We got to do the work of the Lord. But notice he said he's lifting that veil. That veil is coming off. That third eye is going to be wide awoke. You're going to start to be able to see. That matrix is going to be destroyed, because it ain't nothing but a hologram machine. It's a holographic cosmic wound that you stuck in. Right. You stuck in a holographic cosmic wound. And there's so many stuff that lies beyond that.
Neo show us that.
Neo show us that. Right. Y'all watch the Matrix. That's right. Watch the Matrix.
He was like, man, I've been waiting for this moment my whole life. He never saw crash.
The tears are going to wipe away.
Yeah, tears are going to wipe away. All right, let's get back. We back in that Revelations, family.
Revelation chapter 17, verse 7. And the angel said unto me, wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carried her, which have the 7 heads and 10 horns.
Come on.
The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit.
Ooh, now we talking about a bottomless pit. Now it's getting spiritual, y'all. Right. Y'all know what's in that bottomless pit? Abaddon, where they got that CERN machine over there sitting over that deal. It's all going back to the government. Government means control. Ment comes from menti or mentos, which means mind. Mind state. So government control the state of what? Your mind. Huh? You see what I'm saying? We got to get back into, once you start getting into the etymology of what's going on here, you be like, we've been put under a spell. Under a spell. But the Most High prophesied about it. You turn your back on me again. Y'all asses going in them ships, and I'm changing the language. And is that not what happened?
Yes.
So now we speaking a backwards, ancient phonetic language. We speaking our language backwards. And what's the backwards? Backwards Hebrew is cursed. This is what it is, because Hebrew phonetically is a blessed language. But when you do it backwards, when you start reading Hebrew from right to left, from left to right, there's a problem. And that's it. You speaking curses.
Right.
Come on,
So
bro.
that means you can. It's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah,
You think about like Noah, they was on the ship. Like Noah's Ark is kind of like a ship. You know what I'm saying? It's like this. They came off. Life came off. It was a blessing.
Yeah.
And then now, we went against God.
Now it's a curse.
It's a curse.
Yep. And all by the way of ship. Like regardless
right.
whether you want to
Ship.
believe it or not, you are at sea. Y'all
Up.
seamen all day. Y'all don't even know it. Y'all seamen. We fishermen and seamen. We stay on boats. We stay fishing. We seamen. And
y'all, everything you do is all capitals. Your license is in all caps.
Everything. You're a corporation. You're a corporation.
Bills in all caps. And
You're
a
walking corporation. You're a walking corporation that have been cast into a spell. You cast things into a net. Right. And this is where the word magic come from. Magnet.
As a sister on the comment board says she worked in the courtroom. Everything we saying is true.
See?
She just said it.
See?
She said it about 5 minutes ago. I think her name is Shebrew Servant or something like that.
Shebrew Servant.
Something like that. Shebrew Servant. Going up and watching and look at her comments. She say, look, what these brothers saying is true. I work in the courtroom. You know what I'm saying?
All praise.
So she understand the maritime admiralty jurisdiction.
Yeah,
how the flags got gold fringes around it.
Yeah.
Let you know that's the law of the sea. You know what I'm saying? They're coming to your birth and there. That's why you've been converted to a corporation, all capital letters. That's why if you know what to say, you can shut that shit down.
Yeah, that's what they call it. And look, this is a language called legalese. Legalese. Hey, look, it's straight documented. Look it up. Yeah, this is another spell casting language called legalese. Legalese, man. Legalese. This is straight language in court. It's a court language because they'll go up in there and say down, and down means up. Like literally, down means up in legalese. It's a back. Look, this is what Babel come from. Because back then we got to understand that the civilizations named themselves after events too. Civilizations named themselves after events. So they named themselves Babylonians because they was a part of everything in Babel. Babel means to babble, to be confused. That's why they call themselves Babylonians. They named themselves after events. So it's not far-fetched that we Hebrew Israelites calling ourselves African Americans. See what I'm saying? Come on, Hebrew.
Verse 8. It says, the beast that thou sawest. No, verse 9. I'm sorry, family. Verse 9. And here is the mind which have wisdom, the 7 heads or 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth.
Ariel Al Ben Israel. What's up, big bro? Shalom, elder. Go ahead, Hebrew.
Verse 10. And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. Verse 11. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7th, and going to perdition.
You see that? It's this Daniel talk.
Right.
It's this Daniel talk. So now you're seeing split way prophecies, and you reading prophecies all the way back in the book of Daniel. Still happening now. Then it's showing you how your Bible is in order. Like, in order to even start getting answers to these, you have to be in the spirit. You have to study diligently. You see what I'm saying? But like, notice what it's talking about, and notice he's talking about shutting this stuff down. And in order for him to shut it down, the first thing he's gonna hit is them ships and them merchants. And this is all connected to this language. And if you go back to Isaiah 23, it lines up with the Phoenicians, the Babylonians, the Akkadians, which is where we come from. Like, y'all be tripping. Remember, Abraham come from what? Sumeria, the land of Chaldees. The Chaldean language was with Sumerians before he was a Hebrew. Hebrew is an action title. You get that once you do something for the Most High. So what was he a part of before he did that? He was just what? He was a son of Adam. All of us was families then. What makes us different is our belief. That's what makes our blood different. Because your belief changed your biology changed your DNA have to change the bloodline because your DNA is what transmits through your red blood cells. And this is what we speak from. Come on, Hebrew.
Verse 12. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are the 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast.
You see that? So all these nations are going to be giving their power to the beast.
Right.
So we see that it's going to be a hierarchy here. This one world government, this United Nations is going to stand up and the veil going to be lifted. So they're going to take off their ugly hat and we're going to see them for what they really is. And a lot of people going to be like, damn, I was stupid the whole time. The whole time I've been following this. My eyes been stuck on BET. My eyes been stuck on football and bowling and all kinds of stuff. My eyes should have been on her. My eyes should have been trying to raise my family, get my family to the kingdom. See, we stuck in this spell, this illusion. I've been working 40 hours a week. Do you know Negroes brag about overtime? Negroes brag about, you spending most of your time working for the white man. You bragging? That is not tight, brother. You spent all your time in the matrix, huh? And I'm not telling nobody to quit their job. So don't say y'all keep promoting nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't telling you to quit your persecution at all. Come on.
It said, these shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful.
That's what it is. Let's get this up. You can stop it right here. Let's jump start at 18.
Revelation chapter 18, verse 1. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen.
You hear that? That day we're gonna be like, yo! Yeah, Babylon the Great is falling. Because look, when Babylon fall, guess what's gonna fall? They ships gonna fall. All their illusions gonna fall. They banking system gonna fall. They spell gonna fall. They language gonna fall. We ain't gonna have no ties to these wicked devil bastards. You hear that? Redemption have come. Redemption have come. The veil has been lifted. This is what this whole lesson is about, right? We just put it in a twist to show you that we can start with speaking life into each other. But you see, the spirit gonna lead and go where it want to go. See what I'm saying? But all of it's still talking about the same thing we started off talking about 2.5 hours ago. Come on, Hebrew.
Verse 2 again. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, as in it's become the habitation of devils, and the whole of every foul spirit.
You see that? Of every foul spirit and what?
And a cage of every unclean and hateful bird.
Do you hear that now? How did these birds become unclean and hateful? And then you start really getting back into these spirits of these giants and what they was doing with birds and everything on the field. You start linking up these connections. You like, oh man, like this wickedness been in the earth. The Most High finally finna go and stump out the head of these wicked nations and kings. He gonna strike through kings in this day of wrath, and it's finna happen. Look up. The veil has been ripped. The veil is open. Ain't no more. We can't go behind the temple and all of that. We can go right up in there and check out the mercy seat now. We can see Christ for who he is, but we have to break this chain and this illusion. And the best way to start is with what you're speaking. Start speaking life into your brothers and sisters. Start speaking love and show light and love. Stop speaking devilish, demonic destruction, which is all we do. All we do. You get up with your sister and brother and you talking about somebody else's business. Who cares? We supposed to be talking about this right now. Hey man, when God gonna come back and strike through these kings though? That should be our the conversation should be the kingdom that come. That's what we supposed to be rapping about. Come on, Hebrew.
Verse 3. For all nations have drunk, said for all nations have drunk of the wine of her wrath, of her fornication. And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her.
Come on.
And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people.
You said what he say?
Come out of her, my people.
He said, get from up out of that illusion. Get from up out of that spell. Get from up out of that matrix. Get from up out of it. So look, he's letting us know right now that we have the power to come up out of this matrix, to come up out of this spell, to come up out of this illusion. Come on.
That ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues.
Right.
For her sins have reached into heaven.
Boy, you look, this is how wicked this devil is, this government is, this system, this systematic system is. So wicked that it stink to high heaven, literally. It stink to high heaven, literally. Come on.
And God have remembered her iniquity.
See, he ain't forgot. So he ain't forgot what's been happening to his people. He ain't forgot his people been trodden down. And he ain't forgot that we the reason why this happening either. He ain't forgot that either. But look, he's going to bring redemption to us, and he's going to punish those that mess with us. We the apple of his eye. You touch them. Look, they have committed treason. They might as well went to the government house and dropped the bomb by messing with us. Flat out. So he ain't forgot that. But he also ain't forgot your wicked deeds and your speaking and what you've been doing out here either. An eye for an eye. God have no respect to person. He's the Elohim. He's the only one that can have righteous judgment, rulers, and to judge the mind, the mental, the soul. Because he owns all souls. You don't own your own soul. He owns you and he owns these wicked bastards. And he going to do what he please with it. But he's a just God. Justice is going to come into play. But you see, when he come and he bring back this righteous dictatorship, he's going to actually lift this veil and we going to see this illusion. We're going to be able to see that we was under a spell the whole time. Come on, bro.
Verse 6, reward her even as she rewarded you. And double unto her, double according to her work.
You see that? He say double up on that whore. Right. Double up on. Now, look, this is a lot of doubling up. Don't forget, we've been castrated, raped. We've been butt raped as men, breaking a buck. They done sold us. They done burnt us alive. Think about all the stuff they did to us. He said double up on them. Oh, my God. They got an eye for an eye when it's with the Most High. That's right. They got some, and it's double that. So they took one of our eyes, we taking their eyes, their tongues, in their ears. Spiritually. See what I'm saying?
That's the whole head.
That's the whole head. Yeah, come on.
It says, in the cup which she have filled to her cup. Verse 7, how much she have gloried herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her.
You see that? So she just chilling, sipping on wine with the pinky out, you know. I have done nothing. I have done the pinky. I have done nothing. You done killed millions and millions of Hebrew Israelites. You done put us under a binding, casting spell that we didn't even agree to. You ain't done nothing. Yeah, all right. Come on.
Yeah, she lived deliciously.
Live deliciously. She just chilling with her feet up. And look, if you walk around, just go to a vegan spot or go chill in a restaurant. These heathens literally walk around like they have no problem in the world. Like their ancestors, they say, beating, trotting us down for thousands of years. They walk around like we owe them. Like literally.
They conversations.
Yeah, Bob, that painting was it was magnificent. It was very extravagant. Like y'all ain't, we talking about the kingdom to come. Y'all talking about paintings, pictures, and what y'all doing at the movies later on. Y'all finna go beer pungy. Come on now. Come on, bro.
Beer pungy.
Right.
Verse 7 again. How much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. But she said in her heart, I sit a queen and no widow.
You see that? I sit a queen and no widow. Check this out.
And shall see no sorrow.
You see that? So she thinks she just high and mighty. Can't nobody touch her.
Right.
She's finna get touched. Now look, this how you know she's finna get touched, because she's been touched before. We just read it in Isaiah 23. Come on now. It's dry land over there now. Desolate. Iraq is a dust bowl right now. They used to be one of the most thriving civilizations on planet Earth. It's a dust bowl over here right now.
Burning.
You know what I'm saying? Like, look at the sign. Hey, look, we so stuck in this illusion, in this matrix. We ain't even worried about California. We worried about J's, Jordans, gold chains, smoking blunts, getting some vagina, tossing back some liquor, and that's it. We ain't worried about California on fire. They dropping nuclear war bombs. They doing test missiles. I'm talking about a meteor just fell the other day. Look at it. It's going down in the heavens and on earth, and you too busy stuck inside the matrix. You think this is all that? This is like the truth. Y'all like the Truman Show.
Oh, that's
like the Truman Show. Everything just exists inside the Truman Show. Truman realized that there was some bullshit. He got to the end of the ocean and knocked on that door. He said, hello, good morning, what did he say? Good evening and goodbye. I'm going out here to the real world.
Jim Carrey, he ain't telling jokes.
No, he ain't. Jim Carrey woke. Documentary?
He woke. It's on Netflix.
Yeah, bro. I watched it like 2 weeks ago.
Jim Carrey woke.
But the thing is, it's just like shit. He conjuring up dude's spirit. Yeah. The dude who was dead.
Now you peep the last movie he was in. Last movie he was in wasn't even no comedy.
I ain't seen that.
The number 23.
Oh yeah.
Number 23.
Saw was number 23.
Yeah.
Everything was straight but they were called sinister or diabolical.
Right, Greta. She say
Kevin,
Cali,
you know,
Texas, Puerto Rico, etc. All that's on. It's going down out here.
That's right. Right.
Yeah,
So
blood. Right, blood super moons. You sure right about.
Right.
It was just a blood super moon yesterday.
Shit on my soul.
Yeah, on your soul. Yeah, on Mali Earth Day. Yeah, big blood super moon, and people still texting what you doing. What you trying to get my soul together?
Right,
That's what I'm doing.
Straight up. Chips here was
Straight up. Right, what I'm doing. WYD. You sure right. Hey, you sure right, she bro. Our mindset's on the wrong things. Come on, Hebrew. Set the Nazarene in the building. Yo, what up, Hebrew?
Oh, yeah, that's a good brother.
Yeah, that's a good brother. Davida, Hebrew, Shalom. What up, Terrence? Hebrew, Shalom.
What verse mean?
Jabez, what up? Start where you think at.
All right, verse 11.
We got a couple more. We're going to get up out of here, family. I know we held y'all up, but we right back at it again. We're going to try to get back at y'all Monday.
Verse 9.
Come on.
Verse 9. It says, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her.
You see that? So the ones that was down with her,
right.
The ones that was surviving off of us and the transportation of us and the merchants, they're going to be like, oh my God, right. Babylon has fallen. Ooh.
Their king.
Yeah, the ones that's stuck under the matrix that's comfortable in this. You know them, the bootlicking Negroes, just like them wicked high priests. Oh, the temple's down. Oh my, he's going to raise his temple in 3 days. How are we going to put sorcery on the people and gain money from them? See what I'm saying? We have to get out of this illusion and watch what people be saying. Look, it's all in their speech and by the way they talk. Right. All by the way they talk. Read through the fine lines. Start looking up the etymology of the words. Like, this Negro just cursed me. He gave me a hug, a kiss with some money, but his intentions is all off. Right. We need to stop doing that. Let's start slowing down. Look, he said be quick to hear and be slow to speak. So let's quit speaking so fast. And then you end up saying some things you don't even know what you're talking about. You're just rattling off at the tongue. Yeah. Come on.
It says, when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, at last, the great city Babylon, the mighty city, for in 1 hour.
For what?
In 1 hour.
So in 1 hour, this veil gonna be lifted. That's when, look, excuse my language, that's when Negroes gonna be like, this shit just got real. The veil, after that, the veil is off. Because this is coming, once this come tumbling down, once it ain't no more, that's when it's going to be real. This is when it's going to be real. Once the mark of the beast come into play, the veil is lifted. Once this bottomless pit get opened up, the veil is going to be lifted. Once y'all see Project Bluebeam, and the veil going to be lifted. You see, so you gonna get out of this spell whether you want to or not, but it's best you prepare for it. Right. You might as well start now. Back a bit. You might as well start now. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 11. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her.
Who you see that? And the merchants of the earth shall weep and what?
Mourn over her.
Morning. Good morning. Now we see mourn using in what? A bad sense. Right. Used for death. Right. Crying. But you say good morning all day though. Remember, it's twofold. You have the bright morning star, but then you have the morning. Right. See what I'm saying? This is the spell that we have been subjected to. Come on, Hebrew.
For no man buys their merchants anymore. Mm-hmm. Their merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones.
See, ain't nobody messing with that. They ain't buying gold no more. They ain't buying silver no more. Right. They ain't buying precious stones no more. None of that. Come on, Hebrew.
And of pearls and fine linen. And purple,
come on,
and silk,
come on,
and scarlet,
come on,
and all thy wood,
and all thy what?
Thine wood, and all manner of vessels of ivory.
Vessels of ivory. Now look, now check this out. He's talking about merchants. Guess what's on this list, family? Guess who finna pop up? Come on.
And all manner of vessels of most precious wood, and of brass, and iron, and marble,
and what?
And marble,
come on,
and cinnamon, and odors, and ointment, and frankincense,
come on,
and wine, and oil, and fine flour.
Come on.
And wheat and beasts.
Now look, he's talking about merchants. He's talking about things you sell. Guess what's on this list, family? Come on.
And sheep.
And
horses.
And
chariots.
Now he's talking about things that's in stock market, like Molly just said. Let's keep going, family.
And slaves.
And who?
And slaves.
And who?
And souls of men.
And slaves and souls of men. We are used as cargo. We are cargo. We are part of this market. We are part of this birthing process. You are under a spell. You're being sold to Satan back and forth. He ping-ponging you back and forth, and you worry about J's. Come on now. Y'all see this? We are in a straight systematic matrix. We are in a hallucination right now. This stuff ain't even real. The veil got us thinking this is real, and it's not. You've been sold around. You've been tossed to and fro. You're being sold. But you so busy in the weekdays, you so busy being enslavement to this system that you don't even know you enslaved to Babylon. Most High wasn't playing when he said you was going through slavery. This is way deeper than what we can imagine. This is way deeper than what you thinking about. Like, we really need to ponder and think about these things here. Come on, Hebrew.
Verse 14. And the fruits that thou so lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which were dainty and goodly or departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all.
Ooh, come on.
And the merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off, for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, and saying, at last, the great city that was clothed in fine linen, and purple, and scarlet, and decked with gold, and precious stones, and pearls, for in 1 hour, so great riches is come to nothing.
Whew. This is deep. Come on.
Straight up. And every shipmaster and all the company and ships and sailors, and as many as trade by sea, stand before all.
You see that? As many as what? Trade by sea. We are at sea. We are seamen. Now, look, so we can stop there right there. So I just want to go through some things with y'all before we get off this line and talk about some other things. So we already talked about the banking system, how it's all that they see. We talked about glamour, how glamour comes from grammar. Grammar comes from Gamori. You go to grammar school. You go to school to read, write, and teach and how to spell, cast spells. And when you cast a spell, you need a pencil. A pencil represents a wine. And when you get the wine and you write, you have to write in cursive to curse yourselves. And then to sign over a contract. Con means to get over on somebody. Tract is a agreement. So you sign a contract to let people, you willfully give it over. You have to sign your signature. Signature breaks down into signing over your nature. Signing over your nature is signature, and you sign in your soul. All of these things are riches. Now, when you have to write something, you can spell right. Well, actually, W-R-I-T-E or I-R-I-T-E, which is ritual. Look this stuff up, family. All of this have to do with corporations, courts, the dead. All this got to do with all of that.
I'll be brush. Shalom, brother Chris. Both y'all family, bro. Amen to the word. Our family love indeed and true.
You hear that? Maccabee said he love y'all indeed and truth.
And so going back to what you said,
you got that radio. You got that radio show in the morning.
Yeah, I gotta get about it, man. You look rest or whatever.
All right, my brother.
Hey, it's short right over here.
Oh, okay, bro.
You going to it, right?
Yep. Now the rib outside.
Okay.
She got me, so I'm
Shalom, King. Peace. Indeed and the truth, he bro.
Oh, look at y'all, a joke.
So you see what we going through here, y'all. This is real deal stuff.
So going back to what you're saying, break that down. Signature then.
Okay. So as far as the signature, y'all. So a contract, meaning you finna I'm going to get over on you. Track means agreement when you look it up. So when you sign on a contract has to be signed. So when you sign your signature. Signature, the root word stands for signing over your nature. This is where you get the word metunetra from. And metunetra, or the medu, comes from the ancient Egyptians with the Phoenicians. All this go back to Kemet. All this go back to the Africans that was in Sumer, and it all goes back to us. Because as I keep saying and as I keep stating, y'all, there really is no difference. The only difference between you and the so-called Hamite is your belief. So we always saying African booty scratchers and all that, when our actuality are more our families. He said don't be like them because of their ways. because the ways and what they practice. He didn't say then be like them because of bloodline. Our bloodline only changed when we conceived the promise from Abraham. That's when our bloodline changed. We really have to get in tune and really have to understand and overstand that, family. Y'all see what I'm saying? So that's the lesson. I want to actually end this off. This particular lesson, I want to end it with Zephaniah 3 and 9. Can you get Zephaniah 3 and 9?
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, y'all know the children getting restless over here, so we'll shut it down. Zephaniah 3 and 9. I'm gonna end it with Zephaniah 3 and 9, and then we can dialogue for a little minute, for probably like 5 minutes, and then we're gonna get up out of here. Right. Yeah, land back on that, Wardy P.
As if now.
Abim Lamech. Shalom, shalom. Man, all the Hebrews up here. All the Hebrews in the Shebrews. Enoch, Israel, what up, Hebrew? Shalom, shalom. Go ahead, Hebrew.
I'm sorry, verse 7. I mean,
Uriel is the reader. Excellent job. Kimberly said, excellent job. Yeah, I got Uriel back in the building, man. Y'all know I started with this, bro. Y'all saying? It's my bro right here, man. Go ahead, bro.
It says, Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 8.
Yeah, start at 8. Now look, we was talking about this language, talking about how we been cast into this net, cast into this mold, how we've been under a spell and under a curse through this language. Now we finna see what God restored the language, so we ain't gotta worry about that no more. But before we get to that, we have to lift this veil. We have to open this eye. We gotta open this eye, family. Come on, bro.
Verse 8. It said, therefore, wait ye upon me.
He say what?
Wait ye upon me.
That's right.
Said the Lord. Until the day that I rise up to the praise. For my determination is to gather the nations.
Who is to what?
Gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms to pour upon them my indignation.
Who? Come on.
Even all my first anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy.
Ooh, you hear that? So he finna come back and scorch this place. Ain't no veils gonna be on your eyes then. You gonna be like, this is real. Right. This is the real deal.
What you say? Shit just got real.
Yeah, it just got real. Come on, Hebrew.
Verse 9. For then will I turn to the people a pure language.
Yes. Hey, see? So at this point, that's when he's gonna turn to pure language. We're gonna go back to the Adamic language. Go back to the language in the image of God, speaking the true, pure, holy Lawan, Lawash Kodash, that true Lashan, that true Lawash, that true tongue. You know what I'm saying? That true heavenly spoken language. But until then, just know we accepting this language, but we have to speak it better. We have to be more careful with that. Okay. Like, y'all don't have to say good morning to me. Grand Rising Queen. Oh God. Hey, Grand, I don't have no problem calling my sisters goddesses and queens. That's what you are. Right. I'm not stuck on the linguistics of all of that. A lot of people are afraid to call each other gods. Right. Psalms 82:6, John 10:34. That's what we are. I'm gonna call you what you are. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I have no problem calling you a goddess or a queen. I don't have no problem saying Grand Rising. We think that's Egyptian talk. Them niggas talk like they Kemet. No, they got that from us. We just read it. It was Semitic languages first. What are y'all talking about? We can prove this. Ain't no all that Kemetic stuff come from us.
Right.
Come on.
Verse 9. It said, for then will I turn to the people a pure language, that they may all call upon the name of the Lord to serve him with one consent.
See, so he gonna restore a pure language. Ain't this gonna be beautiful, family? Can y'all picture that? Imagine the veil is lifted. You know what I'm saying? Imagine that. Beautiful, beautiful thing. So I want to rap with y'all about a few other things, but the children is getting restless here. We have been on here long. I know I was supposed to answer a couple of questions. Anybody got any questions? Says we dealt with the Kemetic people too. Yeah, look, I mean, our actuality, Kemetic people or them our people. Now, look, scientifically, he did say don't make covenants and stuff like that with them, but that was with only certain types of Hamitic people. But look, the worst thing a very studied up Hebrew can say is they not a part of the African family. That's the worst thing you can do, because if somebody come with the right scriptures, you be like, oh, you have to change your statement. Because once you start going back and he be God and he be God and he be God, hey, we always family. We always family here. But that's another topic for another day. I know a lot of people want to hit on astrology. Like me and bruh's gonna start trying to tackle this. Me and Ariel gonna start something on Thursdays too. Me and the elder Ariel, Alvin, Israel. We're gonna start something on Thursdays. So we're gonna start trying to fill up these days of the week. Continue doing what y'all been doing. I love y'all family indeed and in truth. Again, if y'all don't have my Facebook is Yahki Hickman, YAHKI space Hickman, HICKMAN. Hit me up, shoot me inboxes and all of that. I got too many friends to accept any friends, but y'all can follow me. Y'all can hit my inbox. I will respond. If y'all got any type of topics to talk on, we can teach that. This actually was a topic that was brought to me, and this is why I'm doing it. So I am answering the topics, but I'm doing them in whole topics. So somebody asks about the power of speech, and this is one of them topics. So for the Shebrew to ask that, this is the answer for that. Just keep hitting me up, and we'll start getting it. We'll be able to tackle more situations and stuff in the situation room because we're going to start doing it more days. You know what I'm saying? So look, we here to work, man. We servants of the Lord. Like I said, I'm blessed, I'm humble, I'm Yahki. So with that being said, I love y'all family indeed and truth. I will give some last shout outs. Deborah Lee, Shalom, Shalom. Loretta Weaver, Shalom. Shebrew Servant, Shalom. Set apart daughters of Yah, Shalom, Shalom. Polo Rico, Shalom. TLC, Serenity Sense. I hope I said that right. Shalom. Elihu Yisrael, Shalom. Brenya, I hope I spelled her name right. Brenya, she been clowning on the board today, had me bugging up. Shalom, Shalom. Cassandra Sellers, MA, Shalom. Bro Ariel Albert Israel, my elder, Shalom. Enoch Israel, Shalom. Kimberly, Shalom, Shalom. If I'm missing y'all, Shalom. I appreciate all y'all. Again, we family, y'all. We family. So y'all got any topics, hit Yahki Hickman on Facebook, and we can get to it. Me and your bro Uriel.
Shalom, family.
You know what I'm saying? I got Azariah Heem in the background.
Shalom, bro.
I got Mordecai here.
Bye.
So we in the building. So look, with that being said, Situation Room every Saturdays and coming new days of the week near you. I guess. With all that being said, all praise to Yahweh Hashem Mashiach Yahweh Shah Barakatah Hallelujah Olam Kayaha Malak. Shalom.
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 Let me log off before I start talking.
That was a paragraph.
Hold on. All right, stop broadcasting. I think that's what it is. Yep.